Hello? Is this thing on? Hey, everybody, how are we doing today? Let's go ahead and get over here to our main screen. Welcome in. As you can see, we are at the home office again. I had been at the office this morning, and the computer there just decided, hey, we're not going to let you read or write to the other drives in your computer again today. Great. Guess where all my games are installed. So, I decided to run back to the house office to go ahead and take care of stream today. Hopefully we can get that fixed and patched because, I know I prefer my nice, pretty green screen background. Makes me feel a little bit more professional anyway. Excuse me. Had to try and chow down on an apple fritter on the way, or right before stream. So, welcome in, everybody. As always, my name is Bertimus. It is wonderful to see you all here. I am here streaming on behalf of Children's Health Foundation in Oklahoma City. Streaming for Extra Life. Now, what is Extra Life, you say? Extra Life is part of Children's Miracle Network, where gamers get to give back by doing what they love most, gaming. Now, whether that be streaming, playing at your local game store, or even having a little event at your house. It's however you want to do it, the way you want to do it. It doesn't have to be video games. It can be tabletop. It can be traditional sports. It can be a bake sale. I mean, that's the best part about Extra Life is how free it is, and you get to fundraise your way for the kids in your area. If you'd like to check out our page or see a little bit more about what Extra Life is about, please scan the QR code up there with your phone. If you're on your phone, check down that way, somewhere below me. There should be a link in our About section that'll get you over to our Extra Life page. While you are there, don't forget to mute the second stream because we do have an embedded stream over there and you don't want the echo. Make sure you check out our incentives. If you are on your phone, they'll be down at the very bottom of your page. If you're on the website, they're going to be on the right side after you get down below the stream. Those incentives are either quick donations, so that way you don't have to go through all the hand typing that normally comes with some of these donation setups, are really cool Extra Life jerseys that we do every year, or fun little effects, like there is a send a cute jump scare, there's a put on your focus glasses, if you notice there, that little menu right there. Those donation amounts, whenever you make them, through those particular incentives, you can't just blindly donate those amounts. They're not tied the same way. If you donate through those incentives, you will put an overlay effect on. Now, what is an overlay effect? Why don't I just jump over here and demonstrate some of these for you. So, for instance, the fun one over here, send fireworks. That's going to look a little bit like this. Waba. It's going to come eventually, I promise. Hey! So, this is one of the easier ones to mitigate and manage. You can see through it pretty well. There are others, such as the cute jump scare that throws Hello Kitty or Yoshi up in front of me. There is the Tetris covers the screen, which those Tetris blocks pop up and cover a good third to a half of the screen. And I can't see through it because what you see up there on the game preview, that's the exact way it's covering it on my monitor over here that I'm looking at, right? So, please feel free to make those donations and support the kids, Children's Health Care through that way. And that way you also get to mess with me as a thank you for your donation. So as always, we really appreciate it. Those donations go directly to Children's Miracle Network to help kids, whether it be through medical research, medical equipment purchases for the doctors who need the better equipment so that way they can better treat our kids, as well as charitable care. And that means, so if any child shows up for any of our programs and they need a little financial assistance because some of those treatments can be extensive and expensive, we step in and make sure no child is ever turned away due to financial status. So that is what we're here to do. We want to make sure our kids have the very best chance at life. And, I've had several family members that have either they themselves gone through the children's healthcare system or have their kids go through the children's healthcare system, and it's not fun. All those treatments, the surgeries, you name it. It's not a fun place to be. And on top of that, for some of those that there are some programs that we don't have locally, those kids have to travel, and uprooting your families and everything like that is very, very hard to do during those trying times. So we want to make sure we have as many well-developed programs in our local areas as possible, so that way our kids don't have to travel for those treatments. So again, thank you if you do decide to donate or mess with my stream. It is never required, but always appreciated. For everybody else that's just here to hang out, Welcome back. It is a wonderful Thursday. It is below 90 degrees finally, and I am so excited to start opening the windows and giving my AC just a little bit of a rest. Hopefully my electric bill too. Hopefully you guys haven't had as bad as mine are. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump over into the game. We're going to be playing Slay the Spire today. It has been one of our Cozy Thursday games that we've been trying to play a lot more often. As much as I love Tetris, that we're going to try and reserve that to Tuesday as much as possible because it can be just a little bit stressful with the speed we play at. So, if you haven't seen Slay the Spire before, this is a deck building game. What that means is you are going to start with a set amount of cards, and after each round, you are going to have the ability to pick a card or ignore a card to build your deck out. Now, all of these cards tend to interact with each other or build up an engine to where you're cycling through your deck as often as possible and having the effects you want. Whereas if you take a card every round all the time, you're going to end up with a bloated deck and your deck just isn't going to perform as well as it could be. So these deck builders are very, very fun for me because I like creating these looping engines. There are certain ones that work for each character. Now, in Slay the Spire, we have 4 different characters here. We've got Ironclad, which is your typical warrior archetype in most RPGs. The Silent, which is a poison rogue. So you've got 2 different styles of building. You got poison that does damage over time each turn. Or you have, low cost, low damage attacks that you can spam over and over and over again and create essentially a waterfall effect of damage. We have our Defect over here, who is a powered orb mechanic. So essentially he has certain slots that when certain cards will fill those slots with elements, such as lightning, dark, frost, or plasma. And each of those different effects have a different effect on the game. Like lightning does damage at the end of every turn. The frost gives you shield and protects against attacks at the end of every turn. The darkness has a growing damage, and when it's finally shifted out of the channels, it does a huge amount of damage. And then the plasma just gives you extra energy, which you use to pay for cards. So it's just creating that rotating run. And then we have the Watcher over here, who we're going to be playing today to try and get this last unlock that I don't have. The Watcher is a stance mechanic. So what that means is you have your basic stance where all of your cards will do regular damage. Your shield will take regular shield. You have Calm. Calm is more of a defensive setup. Most cards that will happen while you're in Calm will give you additional shield. But whenever you stance transition out of Calm, you get 2 extra energy, which are used to pay for additional cards. So essentially you want to be setting out from normal into Calm as often as possible, or transitioning from other stuff back into Calm, so when you transition back out, you have more energy to use. And then you have Wrath, which all your damage is doubled that you do, but you're also taking double damage the entire time. So it's very good to be able to transition to Wrath at the beginning of a turn, do a whole bunch of damage, and then transition either back into Calm or back into normal stance. And then there's a rare stance called Divine Stance, which you do 3 times the damage, but it only lasts 1 turn. And typically you have to jump through a couple of hurdles to get that to happen. Now, I haven't gotten a complete Divine Stance build going yet, because once you get those going, you are just sitting there rapid firing, doing damage all the time. But that takes a pretty distinct luck of the draw on all of your skills and your cards you pick up throughout the run in order for that to happen. And then we've got our little mascot over here. Percy, come here. Say hi, Percy. You're famous. What's up, guys? This is Percy here. Percy is my office cat. I have another cat who is across the house, but he is a lump and he lays in bed all day. Percy, on the other hand, loves coming into my office, especially when the lights are off and the fan is on high, so he can lay on the top of my desk directly under that fan and just kind of enjoy himself. So you'll probably see him walking around at some point, either behind me or over here on his cat bed, whenever he decides to actually use it, instead of laying over here on my X-Acto mat, because that's directly under the fan. So let's go ahead and get into a round and kind of show you more how this works if you have never seen Slay the Spire. These are what, like I said, deck building games are one of my favorite games. You know, there's a lot of tabletop deck building games such as Dominion, Ascension, Star Realms. They all have their own kind of theme and motif, whether it be, space battles, or old-timey English, or magic and mayhem. This one is just kind of this fantasy surreal location, or I should say storybook. Words are hard. I haven't had enough coffee today. So let's go ahead and run through. This is the start. This is your space whale. What he does is he essentially gives you a couple of options. Now, if you completed your last round, you'll get 4 options. If you lost your last round, you'll only get the top 2 right here. So I can essentially trade out max HP to get a whole huge gold burst at the beginning, which is used in special events and at shops. Or I can drop my starting relic here, which is get a miracle at the beginning of every combat. So that is basically a free card that gives me an extra energy whenever I need it. It also has a retain mechanic, which is exclusive to this character, which means I keep that card until I use it. It stays, whereas most cards will be discarded if you don't use it. But I like getting that miracle, and the random boss relics sometimes can give you plus to energy, but you may not be able to get gold anymore, or you may only be able to play certain cards, so it does restrict your gameplay. So what I typically will do is either remove a card to my deck just to make it work faster, or I'll go ahead and get the random relic. So we'll go ahead and do that one, which is not a bad one. Anchor. At the beginning of every combat, I get 10 blocks. So it lets me be more aggressive on my first turn every time. All right, so here's our map. So these right here are basic enemies. They're just going to be regular battles. These question marks can either be events or battles. Let's see what else we've got here. We got the guys with the horns right there. Those are elites. Whenever you defeat an elite, typically you will get a relic, much like that anchor. I'm pointing over here instead of using the mouse. Those right there are relics. You'll get those from bosses. This right here, the flame, this is after you've unlocked all the characters. This means you have to defeat this particular boss entity to get one of the pieces of the key here to get the final boss battle. We've got our shops here. The chest right here is a chance for a random relic, some potions, and a card. And I think that's it. The fires right here are either resting or upgrading. So whenever you hit one of these, you can either rest and regenerate 30% of your HP because you do not heal between every battle, or you can choose to upgrade one of your cards, which makes it a little bit more powerful. It'll either make it cost less, do more damage, give you more shield, etc. So I want to make sure I get it over to this guy so I can luckily start everywhere. But I do like hitting these extra question marks because they'll either give you a chance at a relic, give you a chance at more gold. I like to hit those as often as possible. The regular battles are great for getting more cards. So whenever you're trying to build a certain card, you want to be hitting as many of those battles as you can and taking as little damage as possible, so that way you can continuously build the card engine that you're wanting. So here's that miracle card I was talking about, which is right here from the Pure Water. It has retain, which means I keep it every turn, or I should say I keep it until I use it. Gain an extra energy, which is this right here. Each character has their own individual image of what that energy looks like. And then exhaust means that card goes away when you use it. It does not go back through your deck. Strikes your basic damage. Eruption here, there's that stance I was talking about earlier. Wrath is that I do double damage, but I also take double damage. And then defend is how I get the block. Block is how I protect from incoming damage. So I've got this little 3 right here. So I can do 9 damage here. See, he's got 11. Why don't I'll go ahead and take the chance just to kind of show you how this works. So I can do eruption there, right? So that uses 2 of my 3 energy. And then what I can do is strike that guy, but look, I'm doing 12 damage instead of the original 6 because I'm doing double, right? So I can go ahead and get rid of him so he doesn't do any damage to me. I can use the miracle card to get the extra 1 here and strike again for 12. Now your stance stays no matter what. You have to either use a card to transition out of stance or transition into a different stance. So like, for instance, right here, I've got Vigilance, gain 6 blocks, enter Calm. Now, this right here is a debuff. Debuffs rarely ever come with damage unless they're like poisoning you or something like that. Since he's not attacking me, I have no need to jump into Calm at this point. I can still just do 12 damage and be done into that turn because there's no point in blocking or changing my stance. All I need to do is draw 1 more strike, do 12 more damage, and he's gone. Now, like if I were to transition back into Calm, that would go back down to 8 damage. But that is also an attack with a debuff with it, which is why it has those little pearls. So let's go ahead and knock him out of the way, get him done. We are done with the thing. Gold, that's our gold count right there. That's what we use in our shops as well as some of our events. Potions, you get 3 little slots right here. They each have their own ability. So for instance, weak potion, apply 3 weak. It drops, I think, on 1 target creature for this one. So weak, they would do 25% less damage. So that is really great if they're throwing like 30 damage at you. You can toss that on them and they're only doing like 22 instead. So you can have up to 3 and they stay up there till you use them. Now, if you draw a 4th potion, you have to drop one of these potions in order to use put it in there, or you can just skip it and then add a card to your deck. So this is, it'll typically give you 3 choices, and their cards' rarity are based by their little banner colors. So this blue right here is an uncommon. The gray is common. Yellow would be considered a rare, and there are occasionally some like super rares in there, but we'll see those when we come to them. But these are one of my favorite cards for it. Deal 20 damage, but it costs 4. But every turn you retain it, that's that retain mechanic where it stays in your hand, it gets cheaper. So it'll drop to 3 after a turn, then to 2, to 1, then to 0. And the best part about it is it keeps that cost throughout the entire run. Or excuse me, the entire battle. Once you leave that battle and go back, it resets to 4. Crush Joints is fun because you do damage, and if you did a skill, which is none of these, it's all of the defense. Anything that's in a rectangle bracket, that's a skill. Apply when vulnerable, which means they take 50% more damage. And then Bowling Bash is great when you have a lot of enemies because it'll do 7 damage for each enemy on screen to one enemy. So if you have like 3 enemies on screen, you'd be doing 21 damage to one of the enemies. It's really good for knocking an enemy out when you're in a multi-enemy battle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take this one because 20 damage is great, and I like having retain cards because I try and keep small decks, so I am more likely to always have that card in my hand for it to be sitting there being held until I need to use it. Okay, Living Wall. You come to a dead end, begin to turn around, the wall slam down. And you get to make a choice. I get to forget to remove a card from my deck, which is great for shrinking it down. Transform a card randomizes one of the cards that you choose. Say, I don't like this card, but I'll take a shot of it being random. Or upgrade a card in your deck to make it stronger. Now, early enough, I can go ahead and upgrade. What can I do? I like to upgrade Eruption because what it does is it makes it cost 1. So, like on that first turn, I could cost it. When I passed that, I would have been able to cast 2 strikes without having to use that miracle. So I like to go ahead and get that one done now. Vigilance, whenever you upgrade it, gives you more armor instead of it reducing its cost, so it's not as important to me. Another event here. Make way down the long corridor. See a banana, a donut, and a box floating about. What do? I have full health, so I don't need to heal. Donut is max HP plus 5, so that would put me up at 77 total. And then obtain a relic, but you get Curse Regret. Whenever I, at the end of my turn, lose HP equal to the number of cards in your hand. As long as you can play a bunch of cards, Regret's not a big deal. I wish I could pick the relic, but I'll go ahead and do that one, and I end up with Peace Pipe. You can now remove cards from your deck at rest sites. This is awesome. What that means is I can, every time I hit one of these campfires, I can just remove a card from my deck instead of having to go to a shop, which is the only other place you can pay to get one removed. So that means I can trim my deck down as much as possible, so that way I can do some real damage. Now, here we go again. We've got that regret. So at the end of the turn, I lose HP. Now, this is lose HP, not take damage. So that goes through my 10 armor over here. That's what I have to be careful about with this particular one. So, since I've already got 10, what I can do is go ahead and toss the eruption here, because I can just take this guy out, do a strike, he's gone, do a strike on that one, and he's gone, and I don't have to worry about any of the damage at all, and then I drop back into normal stance at the end of the round. So, add a card to my deck. We've got Gain Block, Shuffle, and Insight, which is draw, draw 2 cards, goes away, exhaust. It's great for as a base block. It is better than the regular block because it costs the same. You get 1 more block per card, as well as you get an Insight, so you get to draw 2, but it shuffles it into the draw pile, so you have to draw it later. Tranquility is a good one because it lets you drop into Calm at any point because that card will stay in your hand. It's a great one to have because if you throw Wrath, but you don't have the way to get out of Wrath at the end of it, this card will be stay there, so you always save that last energy of your turn to drop back into Calm, so you're not taking double damage from any creature still there. And then Study, at the end of your turn, shuffle an additional Insight. It is really good to do draw cards, so you get to continuously draw cards. Now, the problem is I don't want that big of a deck to do Study because I have that regret, so until I can get rid of it, I'm not worried about doing that one. So what I am going to actually do is do Tranquility, and I will worry about card draw later once I'm able to trim down my deck a little. Now, sometimes in these event ones, you get the random shopkeeper. This is the shopkeep. So whenever you see that money bag on there, this is where you go. You get 5 class cards to pick from, 2 colorless cards, which are able to be used to any class, as well as 3 relics, 3 potions, or you can use 75 gold to remove a card. Now, that gets more expensive each time you use it. Now, I can't afford any of my relics. Do I have anything worth anything here? It's only attack in your hand, deal 30. I don't want to trim my deck down that much, especially with the Sands of Time. I know that one's always going to be in my hand. Carve Reality is fun because you deal 6, so it's better than a regular strike, and you get a smite to your hand, which means for another 1, you can do 12, and it stays in your hand. It just goes away whenever you use it. Wish I don't much care for because it's 6 plated armor, which means I get 6 armor at the end of every turn. if I remember correctly, at the end of every turn, but every time I take damage past my thing, it reduces that armor by 1. It is good, but you have to be able to continually cast it, and it's 3, so it'd be the only card I can play until I get more energy. Crescendo is the same as that Tranquility. It is drop into Wrath whenever you have the 1, because it'll always be in your hand whenever you draw it, okay? And then Nirvana is fun whenever you have a Scry build. Scry is, if anybody here plays Magic, it's very similar. There will be cards that trigger these Scry effects, right? And whenever you do that, as long as you have this power active, you're gaining 3 blocks. So if you're using all of these Scry cards, you're continuously generating block. Plus, it's only a 1 mana energy power, so it's not so bad. I don't have any Scry effects ready to go, but with what I'm doing and keeping my deck as small as I want to, I think I'm actually going to buy that one and see how it goes. And then I can actually buy the potions here, the gain my HP. The only one I can get is the gain 12, which is actually a really handy potion. I'm going to go ahead and pick that one up, because there are a lot of times you'll end up with like 5 damage too shy, or like coming over here into this elite. Elites will do more damage. Now, cool thing about this particular elite, he sleeps for 3 turns or until you deal damage more than his, until you deal more than 8 damage to him in a turn. So what I can do is essentially get a couple of setup turns. So I can cast Nirvana, drop into Vigilance right here, so now I'm in Calm. I save my Miracle because I don't want to hit him or add any more defense. So what I'm essentially trying to do is get to my deck and get it ready. So what I hopefully want to do is draw that Sands of Time on this one. So what I can do is cast Defend, and I can go ahead and strike him because it's not going to wake him up. And then end turn on that one. Now I'm going to take 3 damage. Ouch. Oh, because the Regret does count as 1. So he wakes up at the end of this turn, right? So since he will be dazed when he wakes up, that's a cool little thing. This is a great time to sit here and go into Eruption and knock a whole bunch down. Now I can keep this Tranquility too. So what I can do here is Eruption, then Strike. Now I did come out of Calm on that one, so I got 2 extra energy. Strike again. Now, I can either save this one or go ahead and toss the 40 damage at him. So I'll go ahead and get rid of Miracle and hit him with the Sands of Time and do 40. Now, it permanently costs 3 instead of 4, like it was earlier. So the next time I draw it around, it'll start at 3 and keep counting down. So that's a real fun one, that one. Now, ouch. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is drop into Calm, because that right there is 18 times 2 since I'm in Wrath. So if I go to Vigilance, do I want the extra 8 block, or do I want, see, I can do Tranquility and 10 block, or that and 15. So what I'll do is I'll do Vigilance here, so that drops me and drops him down to 18, and I can cast 1 Defend there. I'm still going to take 5 damage from him, or what I can do is throw this Weak Potion at him, and now he'll be doing 13. Now I'm still going to take 4 damage here because of my Regret Curse. It does stink, but it's part of it. Let's see what we got next to work with. So he's coming at me for 13 again. Now I've got that Sands of Time. What I can do is defend twice. Let's just go ahead and defend all 3 times, so I absorb the whole thing. But now that Sands of Time continuously gets cheaper. And if I find let Eruption come back, and he's not doing damage this turn. So this is the perfect time to do something like Eruption. Coming out of Calm, I get the extra 2 energy back. Sands of Time again, and then I can strike, deal the damage. And the best part about that is doing that while I still have that Regret Curse in my hand doesn't proc that damage at the end of turn, because I managed to knock him out before it was the end of turn. All right, Smiling Mask, Merchant's card removal now always costs 50 gold. Just awesome, because now I can continuously remove all my cards. Emerald Key, once I get all 3 key pieces here, I can get into the final boss battle, should I get that far. All right, again, Bowling Bash, we've seen the 7 damage for each enemy in combat, which is awesome. Halt is fun because it's a free 3 block normally, but if you're in Wrath, you gain 9 additional blocks, so it helps you out if you're stuck in Wrath and you've got damage incoming. It's also a free card, so it's always an easy one to toss out. And then Lesson Learned, deal 10 damage. If fatal, it knocks out the enemy. Upgrade a random card in your deck, and it goes away. So whenever you do exhaust a card, what's up, Beans? Whenever you exhaust a card, it's only gone for that battle. At the end of the battle, it comes back into your deck. So as long as you do that, especially since I'm in the first round, this is actually a really good card because it'll continuously upgrade my deck as I'm going through too. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one, because there are a lot of monsters in this particular one that are going to have 10 health or less. Cool. Well, you know, I'm glad you're still studying over there. Keep at it, man. We're going to have to do some more co-op duos. I'm going to have to keep up, and I need to get some more duo practice because there's a lot of those revive quests that we have that I'm going to have to learn to do, such as, you know, dropping the O block in there for the doubles and the, you know, getting the S and Z spins a lot more in there. So we're going to have to do a lot more co-ops whenever you get time. And then I only have to defend against one more. So what I can do is just toss the Vigilance, and I'll keep this Tranquility card in there. All right, catch you later, Beans. I know, I need to... There's a lot of stuff I still need to do with this channel. I just haven't had time to sit down and do it. All right, so do I want to go ahead and toss the Eruption out? I mean, I'm going to have the extra health. So what I can do is Eruption, then 2 strikes, right? He's got 14 damage coming. I can just Tranquility back down to 7 and then gain that, and I'll only take 2 damage. I'm not worried. I could have done that just to save it out. So that way I wasn't doing that much more damage to myself. And then strike, and then lesson learned, and I get the free upgrade, and it upgrades itself to do 13 damage. Awesome. Add a card. So again, so here's what I was talking about there. Inner piece, if you're in column, you draw 3. Otherwise, you enter column. It's another way to just get into stance, transition, or draw more cards. Cut through fate, deal 7, scry 2, draw a card. So when you scry, you show the next X cards. So this time you would show 2 cards. You can discard them if you want, and then I would draw a card. Now I had that Nirvana ability earlier. Every time I scry, what was it? I gain 3 block. So I don't know if I get 3 per or just 3 on that one. And then Tantrum, deal 3 damage 3 times. It is great for if you have Strength, which increases damage done per hit. Enter Wrath. It's a good way to continuously do more damage. And then shuffle this card back into your draw pile, which means it keeps going back to the draw. So especially if you have a small deck, you don't have to worry about rotating all the way through to get your discard back into your draw. I'm going to go ahead and take Cut Through Fate just because we're trying to do that scry build just to see if we can get it to work. Now, we're back to another Shopkeep again. We got 57. I don't really see a card that's worth it. Fasting's good. But for what I'm doing, I'm not overly worried about it because 3 strength just means, for instance, that Tantrum spell, right? It would do 3 damage 3 times. If I had the 3 strength, it would do 6 damage 3 times because that strength is added damage every time you hit. So on multi-hit attacks, strength does wonderful. And then dexterity adds extra block every time you block. But I also gain 1 less energy. I'm not overly worried about any of this. I can't afford any of these guys. Let's just do the card removal. So now I get to get rid of any cards in my hand. I can go ahead and get rid of that Regret Curse now because it's been doing more damage than anything. And so now we want to plot where we're going. I can go this way for another relic on an elite. I've got another store here, which I'm probably not going to be able to do much depending on the gold I get with these 2 events right here. I can go route that way for multiple fires. Honestly, I think I'm going to take this route right here because it's got the 2 battles and it's got the elite there. And I've got a pretty decent build right now. So taking out the early elites will give me more relics to fight better elites down the road. Right. So here, whenever you open your first chest, when you're hunting the keys, your first chest will always have the ability to take the Sapphire key or the relic you win. So every card's in your deck, heal 3 whenever you hit a rest site. I'm planning on keeping a small deck. I'd rather take the key on this one. Now all I have to do is hunt down that red key, which you always find at your fire. You have the option to get it instead of resting or upgrading. Or in this case, losing a card too. Oh, well, you're a random addition. You're not normally here. I think on this one, I need to go ahead and toss these 3 out. Do I want to go ahead and... Let's go ahead and just Miracle now and strike him because they've got that ability to where they get shield the first time you hit them. But that'll fall off at the end of the round. I played an extra block when I didn't have to there. So I don't have Nirvana yet. I can go ahead and lesson learned here. And do that, get the upgrade. So now that defend is permanently upgraded. That's what I get. That's why I took that card since I was this early. And here, I don't have the Nirvana ability, but I can still go ahead and Cut Through Fate. What do I have left in my draw pile? So I've got a Strike, Nirvana, Sands of Time. I don't think shifting into Eruption is the best idea. because I can only do the 9 damage, and then I'm not going to have any damage to do next turn. So let's go ahead and cut through Fate here, because what I can do is see the next 2 coming. And then what I had, Nirvana and like 2 blocks. Let's go ahead and just discard both of them, and then draw a card. Sands of Time retained, which is perfect. Now he is going to put a Hex on me. So Entangle, I cannot play Tax this turn, so I can only block. Which is kind of painful, but what I can do is drop in Nirvana, drop the Defend. Really, I'm going to go ahead and drink that block potion. And I'm going to keep the Tranquility, because there's no point in me using it at this point. And Sand of Time just keeps getting cheaper over here. So now he's doing 8. What I can do... I can do 25 or 26 damage, so that's not going to be enough. Or 27 if I did Cut Through Fate. So let's go ahead and do the Cut Through Fate now, so I can see what's coming up. I've got Eruption, but I won't have the extra energy to do it. Or Defend. Let me go ahead, since I have to discard a card, let me go ahead and just discard both of those and see what I draw next. Got the Eruption anyway. I don't have the block to take him on for another round, so I'll go ahead and do that and then just hit him with a strike, because I don't want to double his damage with the Eruption. So now that I'm vulnerable, I'm taking an extra 50% attacks each time. But this time, my Sands of Time is now down to 1. I can strike. He's now at 20 health. Bang. Alright, Cultist Potion is really cool. So gain 1 ritual, what that does is at the beginning of each of my turns, I gain a strength. So again, that makes those multi-hit attacks really, really good. But potions are only good for the round you use them in. So add a card. Foresight is really good with Nirvana. At the end of your turn, scry 3. So that would continuously cause me to gain shield. Mantra is what I was talking about with that divinity stance. I'd have to, once I get to 10 mantra, I get divinity stance. And then I get 3 extra energies, all my attacks deal triple damage, exit the stance at end of turn. With this particular card, you have to play it twice. So it's not my favorite card. And then Protect is fun because it's a guaranteed 12 block, but it costs 2 energy. I'm going to take Foresight because I like this scry build we're after trying to do. Now at 25, I'm probably not going to be able to buy anything, so no biggie there. Just go ahead and roll through that one. Alright, Big Blob here. So the way he works is he splits. Anytime you get him down to half of his health, he's going to split. He'll also change whatever he's doing to his split animation. So you can use that against him. Alright, so here's where we get to try this one. So now I have Nirvana, so every time I scry, I gain 3 block. Let's see if I gain 2 block or not. Or 6 block or 3 block. I've got it. Let's go ahead and... Or no, I want to get rid of the strike because I want that Foresight to draw. Okay, so it doesn't matter how many cards I'm scrying, it's just each instance of scry. Now I'm going to gain 3 block no matter what at the end of every turn because I have that particular power. So I get to look at the next 3 cards and decide if I want to discard them or not, and then I gain 3 shield every time. So it is too early for Lesson Learned, and I'm not really worried about defending. I'm going to discard all 3 of those. And so now I get to choose for all of this. Now, here's the trigger with him. If I were to Eruption, which I think I'm actually going to do. I know I'm doing partial damage here. So if I were to Eruption, I would do 6 damage to him. And then that would double, which would be 30. So that would be 36 total damage, which would get him down below half. Now, if I were to get him farther down below half, it would be able, he would split, and when they split, he essentially splits his HP. So if I got him to 34 exactly, it would split, and each one would be 17 health. So for 36 damage, was it? 36 damage, because I have to use my miracle to do it. That's going to put him down at 25, so it'll split for 12 each. I think I'm okay with that. So we're going to go ahead and Eruption, toss the miracle out, and then Sands of Time. So now he's interrupted because he got to that mitosis. So now he will split, and each one should be, what is that, 13 and 12? Oh no, they split to 25 each. Okay, I thought it was half the damage. I'm still in Wrath, so I'll go ahead and draw the strike. That's fine. So I'm doing, I got the weak. So he's casting a debuff. So I can strike there, strike, and strike. And he's just debuffing, so it's not a big deal. I can stay in Wrath. Now, if he throws an attack and I can't knock him out in one, and I got that Sands of Time right there, we'll just get rid of the defend, so I know I'm getting more attacks. So I can do 30 damage right there for 3. Call it good. Explosive Potion, 10 damage to all enemies. Really good for clearing out big waves. Choose a card over here. Again, we've got a block and scry, which is great because that would give me 10 block because I got the +3 from Nirvana. Fear No Evil is always great because you, if they're attacking, it drops you into Calm. So it's a good one to have if you're consistently in Wrath and somebody's going to attack you. You have Fear No Evil in there. You do 8 damage. You drop into Calm. Drops their damage by half right there. And then Consecrate's another good hit everything. What do I want to do here? I'm not overly worried about stancing right now. I think Third Eye would be really good since I'm going for this Scry build. I still have a lot of health. Do I want to get rid of stuff in my deck? Because I think what I want to actually do is start dropping some of the strikes and defends. Because I like all the cards I've picked up so far. Lesson Learned goes away every time I use it. I could also upgrade. Let me see what these look like upgraded. Foresight is Scry 4, not a big deal. Nirvana is gain 4 block, which will come in handy later on. 9 block, Scry 5. 9 damage, Scry 3. Sands of Time just increases damage. Again, that increases block. And Tranquility just becomes free, which is always handy. Or I can go ahead and take the key. I think since I'm at where I'm at, I'm already going to just take the key. So now I can go ahead and go to the final boss once I get through all 3 levels. Now, here we go. This is probably going to be Muscle Man. So Muscle Man's big deal is every time you use a non-attack, and he gets it after this turn, whenever you use a non-attack, he gains strength. So he gets stronger every time you use something that's not a straight-up attack against him. So this turn, what I'm going to do is go ahead and use these abilities real quick. I'm going to toss that Miracle and just get some damage on him. Because if I were to use those after this, he would just get stronger. So now he gains 2 strength every time I use a skill. Now, that is only any of the rectangle ones. I'm going to get rid of Lesson Learned. I don't need it at this point. And I'll keep the Strike. Because this guy really kind of turns into a damage race. So Third Eye right here, that's that skill it's talking about. So draw Nirvana there. So what I can do is Third Eye, and I'm getting the bonus 3. I don't want to draw any more defense, so I'll go ahead and put that over there because I don't want them till later. Cut through Fate. I get 7, plus I get to draw 2 again. I'm going to go ahead and discard both of them because I'm out of energy. Because I'd rather them rotate around until the next turn. Because I've only got 1 more card over here, so I draw 1, it shuffles, and then I get the rest of my cards out of my discard pile again. Scry, I don't want the defend. Let's go ahead and just discard it. It's going to shuffle again, so I'll probably still end up seeing him. Alright, so this is a big damage round for him, and unfortunately, I might be in trouble. Because I think I'm just going to have to take the damage. Alright, do I want, what is that, 6 times 3? 18 damage. Retain that one for a Wrath and let it get cheaper. The defend, he's still going to gain 2 damage, so I mean, I'm only blocking for 3 at that point. Or 3 additional. I think I would rather just like to go all in on damage on this one. And call that one good. It's going to hurt, but it's better than making him more powerful. Again, not interested in the defense. We're just doing a DPS race. Excuse me. Alright, I'm going to play this one a little weird. We're going to see what happens. So I get the free 2 health or 2 energy for coming out into Wrath, right? Now, just have to remember I have to drop back into Tranquility, so I have to save 1. Alright, so I can cut through Fate, does more damage. Okay, draws the card. Drops me into Vigilance if I want to, but that's no good there. I can Third Eye and gain 10 block, and then Tranquility, but I still get the Strike. or I can Sands of Time, just Sands of Time and knock him out. No problem. Cool. So Dreamcatcher, whenever you rest, you may add a card into your deck. So that's kind of cool. If I'm healing, I get to pick an additional card. Blessing of the Forge, upgrade all cards in hand for the rest of combat. Not a bad potion to have, not a bad potion to get rid of. Okay, powers you can use multiple times. So what that would essentially allow me to do is if I had put both my foresights out there, I'd be scrying 3 twice every turn. Flurry of Blows is always good because every time you stance, it jumps from your discard pile into your hand. And then again, the Halt is the free block. And again, this is always low damage, but it's consistent. So you taught, for instance, I have the Eruption. I toss Flurry of Blows for 4 damage real quick. I Eruption, that Flurry of Blows comes back, and now it does 8 damage for free. And then I transition back to Calm. That Flurry of Blows would come back into my hand again for another 4. So it's good if you are consistently stance dancing. I think for this, though, I mean, honestly, I don't know if I want any of these cards. I can take Flurry of Blows because at a 0, it's not a big deal. All right, do I want to forget a card? I think I'm going to go ahead and rest on this one just because I'm getting close to half health. All right, now again, it lets me choose. Do I want to retain, draw 2 cards? Do I want to have the Protect? Or do I want this freebie Scry? So I would get 3 block, plus 2 block is 5 block, and deal 3 damage for 0. That's not a bad card to have on a Scry build. All right, now, we're at 63 instead of 40-something, but this guy does big damage unless I can do enough damage to get him to split. Again, he has that same split mechanic as the other guy. So what we're going to do on this one is go ahead and hit. And I think for this one, I'm going to go ahead and drink my Cultist Potion. So at the end of every turn, I'm going to gain strength. I'm not worried about using anything for the defense, and the Tranquility I want to make sure I keep. Goop Spray, I'm pretty sure, yeah, it just puts 3 slimes. So those are just dead cards. You can pay the 1 to get them out of your deck, otherwise you'll just keep drawing them. For this guy, what he does is he has this question mark round, which means he's getting ready to jump, and then he has a big jump where he does a whole bunch of damage. It's like 30 some odd damage to you. How do we want to do this? Let's cut through Fate real quick. So we've got Eruption and Strike. I've got a Tranquility in my hand, so I'd really rather just draw both of them. Okay, so it's in order from this way to that way. Now I know. So I will have Eruption coming next turn. I wish I had it this turn. Lesson learned, I can do 14 damage to him. Let's go ahead and scry. I feel like I'm going to want more defense in my hand, so I'll go ahead and get rid of the Eruption since I messed that up earlier. It's 2 damage either, or 14 damage either way. I just don't know. I mean, with Lesson Learned, since he splits each time, I'll get smaller creatures to hurt him with. I just need to get him down to 70 health to get him to split, so I just need to be able to do 30 damage, and this turn ain't it. Alright, so what am I doing here? I gotta block 35 damage. Or do, what is that, 32 to him? So I could do, well, I'd have the Miracle. That would drop him down to 80. Plus that would put him at 70 exactly. But does he split at half? At or below 50. So he would split. Or do I want to try and block the 35? Because what I can do is gain 7, 14... Miracle, and that would be 20 something. I'm only taking 12 some odd damage. I heal at the end of it, and I get to keep the Sands of Time where it is. I think we're going to do that. We're going to drop hit Vigilance, go into Calm. What do I have? I mean, I know I'm drawing both of those, right? So it's better just to hit the Defend. Man, if I'd have done that right and done Third Eye earlier, I could have discarded the Flurry of Blows, dropped into Calm, and gotten a free 4 damage. Let's go ahead and Miracle, Third Eye, and discard that Flurry of Blows. So I know Nirvana is coming next turn. And, I mean, yes, I'm taking damage, but I'm not taking near as much as I should be. I would rather wait for a good setup and get him set it up when he's still taking 3 times to attack, as opposed to 2 goops that turn into 4 goops. So for this one, I can drop Nirvana there. Go ahead and hit him with the strike, and I can burn out one of these slime, which he's about to give me more of. Because I don't need to defend against him. So I can go ahead and do that. Because I want that Sands of Time to be cheaper, because what I can do is drop into Wrath, and all of a sudden that does, what is that, 48 damage, right? Alright, so we're going to strike there. I'm already in Calm, so that's not going to do me any good, and I don't want to waste Lesson Learned. I want it to upgrade. Unfortunately for boss battles, that card's not great. It tends to be a dead card unless you're willing just to offload it. Okay. So, here's where I can gain some work. Okay, so here's this stance transition. Watch. Flurry of Blows for 9, because I'm already doing 5, all this extra damage for that. Eruption into 14. Change stance, Flurry of Blows comes back. Flurry of Blows again for 18, big damage. What I can do is cut through Fate for 42. Get rid of this slime because I don't want it. And draw the strike. 22. Knocked out Big Boss before he ever got to split. So that was the difference between taking that 12 damage. And at the end of every map, your health refills. So I can take another weak potion back. And now I get my yellow banners. Whenever you kill a boss, you typically get these rare cards to pick from. Spirit Shield is great if you have a bunch of card draw in your hands, which I'm not doing. Judgment, if the enemy has 30 or less, it's just an instant kill. And then Ragnarok, 5 damage to a random enemy 5 times. This is good for strength builds. So where I'm at right now, I really don't want any of these cards. So I'm going to go ahead and just skip it. I know they're rare, but sometimes if they just don't work in your deck, there's no point in having it. So okay, here's that boss relic I was talking about at the very beginning. Gain an energy, but all enemies start with 1 strength, which means they're all doing 1 more damage with each of their attacks. Calling Bell is you get 3 relics, but you get a unique curse. And then Astrolabe is transfer 3 random cards and then upgrade them. I don't like the randomization. I like to build cards. I'm just going to Calling Bell. So, this is just an unplayable dead card in your deck. And then you get 3 relics. So this time I get the Oddly Smooth Stone, which gives me 1 dex, which increases all of my block by 1 every time I play one. Pantograph, I drop into a boss combat. I get 25 HP, which is great because that last final fire I get to use as either an upgrade or card removal. And then Lizard Tail, whenever I die, I come back at half of my HP. Really, really handy towards the very end, especially on those final bosses if I can get that far. Alright, so I've got all pieces of my key, so I don't have to worry about which way I'm going for hunting that elite. I would like to strengthen my build a little bit, so I do need to get through cards. I'm not so much worried about events, because events tend to end up costing me more health than they're worth. So I might go this way. I mean, no matter what, I have to do an elite, but I have a campfire before that one. So I think I want to end up at that guy. I've got 163 gold. I normally need to have about 200 plus for any relics. I say we go this route and kind of go up through there. We'll decide what we have at that guy if we go over to the events or not. Alright, Sands of Time having it early is great. Let's go ahead and just... we keep Nirvana because we want it. And then strike, because really all we're doing is just trying to hit him with damage, because he keeps, since he's got this one right here with Barricade, he keeps his shield at the end of every turn. And then he's going to continuously block and add to that shield, as well as doing some pretty big damages. Sands of Time early is good because we get that cost down so we can start cycle through it. Again, so want to toss Nirvana because scrying is good. Go ahead and cut through Fate now that I have that. I've got the Tranquility for the change. I can go and discard Flurry of Blows. Having the defense in my hand is not a big deal. We'll do that and see what we draw. It might change what we do. Curse the Bell. Happy for it to be done. We can defend. So that puts me over, so I don't have to worry about him doing damage. And then what I'm going to do is use my Miracle to go ahead and get Foresight out. so I get that additional scry at the end of turn, or beginning of my turn. So I start with 3 armor every turn. All right, so where I wish I knew what he was going to do. It would probably change what I'm doing. I'm going to get rid of Vigilance and Strike on this one. Keep Third Eye, because it's going to be 10 block. Look at that, whole bunch of damage. So the first thing I want to do on that one is not go into Eruption, but we're going to do Third Eye. Oh, so I have no cards in my deck here. I don't get to scry. I do still get the scry proc. I just don't get the scry. Then we can go defend again and defend. And we call that one good because I'm blocking his 10 times 2. So I'm not taking any damage on that one. And now Sands of Time is now 1. We can just go ahead and discard Curse of the Bell and draw the 2 strikes there. So this one right here is both attacking and getting shield. So I just need to be able to prep for 10 damage coming through. So we cut through Fate, see what's coming, and I draw a card. I've got, what is that, 5 block. Let's go ahead and get rid of the strike so I get the free defense. I don't have anything else to scry, so I can use the defense to get to 10, so that blocks out. And I'll go ahead and Sands of Time for 1. I know I could have held on to it for another turn for it to be free, but it's at the point where it is now cost effective. 10 plus 2, I can go ahead and get, or pitch out Lesson Learned so I get it back when he's weak. Again, Flurry Blows is just free money. Just lucky for some extra 1, we'll do that. Third Eye again, so I get to see what all's coming up. Defend and Vigilance. I don't really need to discard either of them because I'm cool with that. And then toss the defense. And then I do not want to go into Wrath. So we just let that one happen. This one's kind of a slow round for this. So right now I'm noticing I'm in a much more defensive build. I need to get to where I'm a little bit more offensive while I have all this. So I need like more Cut Through Fates. Or get it down to where I'm consistently using Cut Through Fate over and over again. Okay, so for this, I still have 3 energy. What I can do is toss Vigilance out, go ahead and get into Calm. Discard Flurry of Blows, and we can keep Just Lucky over there, because that's free, and it's an additional 1. I'll keep the strike for next round, no biggie. Keep whittling this shield down. And right here, this artifact, that just means that anytime I try and put a debuff on him, it protects against that many debuffs. Alright, I think I can go ahead. Let's get rid of my 2 strikes here, because he's coming up with big damage. Third Eye, do and get the extra block. I mean, I wish I could just draw that one. It'd be nice. I'm good with all 3 of those coming. Defend, and again, defend. That gives me at that 20. But I do know I have a power round coming. Let's go ahead and get rid of the defend on this one. Alright, so here's... Alright, so that's going to be 9 plus 40 damage. That's going to kill him exactly. So, we're going to go into Wrath, Sands of Time, knock him out. So, that fight was just taking too long. I could have wheeled it around to where I got that Fatal Slice so I could get the upgrade. Again, there's another Cut Through Fate I can pick up. Pressure Points is a fun one. It puts a debuff on them, and then it deals damage for that debuff. So you essentially keep hitting pressure points over and over, and does 8, then 16, then, you know, it keeps adding that mark value, and then every time you use pressure points, it does that plus that much damage. It's a great cumulative damage build. Alright, so we're just tossing out defense right here. Got 20 to block it. I will save the explosive potion to where I know I can actually knock one out. Lesson learned, I should be able to get by. Now, these guys both will typically... They steal 15 gold every time they hit you. When you knock them out, you get that amount of gold back that they stole from you. But they also run away after like 4 turns. Since I'm a super defensive build, that's maybe not necessarily a great thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and toss out Vigilance to get the 9 block. Toss out Just Lucky. I want that Sands of Time coming. Toss out Third Eye. I'm good with all of that. I could probably get rid of Foresight. And then 20 again. So I haven't done really any damage to these guys. They may just end up stealing all my gold and then running off. Because now they'll defend and then run the round after that. So Foresight's not going to do me any good to toss out. I need to do damage. So cut through Fate. Let's go ahead and get rid of Nirvana. And I've got Strike, Strike. And I can do that again and strike him again. So that way I can at least knock one of them out. Because he's going to shield up for like, what, 10? 6. Okay, so I still need to be able to do 23 damage to him to get my money. Okay, so again, Flurry of Blows. Eruption, so I get my Flurry of Blows back, right? And I get to do 8, and that does 40 damage. So you almost get knocked out. What I can do is toss the Explosive Potion, right? Then I can do Strike there, and then 40, I managed to get all of my gold back from them and take them out. And then cards. Battle Hymn's pretty cool at the beginning. What's up, bub? My Dixper is offline. Now it's not. I must have accidentally... So, Dixper, I have this terrible program, or problem. Ah! Surprise. Nice job. Hold on, let me back that out again. That ended up... I saw that on my side view, not my main view. Let me test one real quick, because I put it in borderless full screen, and sometimes it... Is my overlay not even there? Dixper skills overlay. Alright, hold on. What do we got here? Try this one real quick. Otherwise, I gotta change my video settings real quick. Ah, okay. Oh. No, okay. It's putting it in the back. That's no good. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me turn. So I'll probably have to swap that up to full screen. Yeah, it's good on stream. It's just not putting it on my monitor. So as long as I can watch my overlay, I'll be able to see it over there, but it's not happening on my actual monitor itself. So after this run, I'll see if I can fix it up. Yeah, here, hold on. Let me save and quit and then re-up it real quick. So, Slay the Spire is a deck building game. I am absolutely enamored with games like this. Alright, let me do... Yes, I know you don't like alt-tabbing when you're in full screen. Alright, so let's try this again. Splash the painting... Slay the Spire. Alright. Let me try something different then. Settings. I wonder if I can do this. Alt-tab. Of course. I probably have to get his settings on this one to where it's, Yes, so you and I actually need to organize with that because Friday, I am like triple booked. Mike had said something about you being interested in helping out Friday afternoon. I need to know what your times are because I've got to like set up Friday morning. I've got to be at a luncheon in Stillwater in the afternoon, or like 11 o'clock that morning, and then I'll be able to be back at the fairgrounds. So if you're available to watch that hours, it's cool. If not, I'll get it set up in the morning and Mike can watch it while I'm at the luncheon, and then I'll be back for that afternoon. So you're more than welcome to be my other ticket on that one and help out with me. I'm going to go ahead and put this back on full screen real quick, and we're going to fix this. Because I want Dixper to work with it, man. I need to make or find a way to control it to where that overlay is always in front. Normally it is, but Slay the Spire is the one game that just runs a little funny. And it doesn't have a windowed mode. And I can't like force window it unless I go get that Steam code to run it that way. Friday around 12 to 1-ish. So, okay, yeah, that'd be fine. I can get it set up and let Mike just kind of babysit it. I just won't put any of, like, my electronics or anything out of there. Okay. Let's go ahead and continue our run, and I'll just... What I'm going to do is make sure that overlay is close, or what I can do is just play on my overlay. Get my card stolen back, and I'm not worried about... Well, Crescendo wouldn't be bad. So I'll have my 3 out there. If you want to bring yours out, you are more than welcome to. But as it stands, unless I'm running a dedicated tournament out there, I don't really see it being a problem. It's more of a drop-in, drop-out thing. Let me go grab Mike's message real quick. 'Cause he was kind of talking about it offhandedly, but it's not like I have a board to give away. Three. Yeah. Okay. So you don't need to. I will have my 3 boards out there. You are more than welcome to bring yours along if you'd like, but do not feel required to, because honestly, dragging that in to the state fair is kind of a pain, especially since you're still got the cardboard box over there. So don't worry about that. I'm not going to worry about any of those cards. So, yeah. I'm not going to worry about running a tournament. The only thing I will tell you about is just beware. Last year, I left the shuffleboard powder out at the state fair, and that was the biggest mistake of my life. Because what they would do is they would just spread it all over like it was shuffleboard, and those kids were just grinding the pucks into the board, tearing it up. Okay, I think since I got more money, I'm going to run over here and go towards the shop. Gain 5 max HP, lose 18, or become cursed decay. I don't like taking continuous damage, so I'm gonna take the boost, because I can always heal down the road. Order an Amazon bag. Man, I'm gonna tell you, talk with me on that one. Show me the bags you see, because I like those Brown Castle bags, and I think I think they're $75 for the typical public, but I might be able to request one, or at least get you a code to get you like a 5% off on it if you like the Brown Castle bags better. All right, so for shopping, again, to get you up to speed, we get these class cards up here at the top, a couple of colorless cards that you get with all. Relics right here, which are these guys right here that gives you buffs throughout your run. Some potions that you get to drink once for a bonus. And then you get to take cards out of your deck. Because, again, with the deck builder deck, you're trying to build an engine to where your deck is working over and over and over and over again. You don't want to overload it with extra cards. What do we got here? Whenever you break an enemy's block, apply 2 vulnerable. It's not bad. Start of each combat, heal 2. I'm a little defensive, so that's not a terrible idea to have. It'll also let me use my fire stuff more. I hate that I'm 1 short of the card removal, though. That stinks. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, if you can get it cheaper on Amazon for that, go for it. But I love those Brown Castle bags. But you can also order direct from him. Just make sure you're not getting overcharged on Amazon. Okay. So you can get Jaxed, 0, lose 3 HP, gain 2 strength. I mean, if I heal 2 at the end of transform 2 cards, or obtain a special relic. Let's just do the relic. So for that one, start each combat with 3 strength at the end of your first turn. Okay, so you just start with a strong first round, which is perfectly fine for me. I want to rest, but what I want to do is probably Smith. 9-3, block 5, scry 2. That one's not bad. I also need to get that one out there, but I'm not getting it fast enough. I need that to be like an 8. Twitch. This Twitch app and I are becoming mortal enemies. So I don't know if my stream just refreshed again or what, but I looked down and all of a sudden I was at somebody else's Twitch channel. Like, no, I have been watching my own. Dude, I guess if you sit on one stream too long, it just eventually says, okay, you're going to go watch somebody else. Or it's that Twitch network issues where sometimes when it hiccups, it goes, okay, we're sending you to a different stream. It's like, hey, I was watching that. Getting 2 more block and the extra scry might not be a bad deal. It lets me get through my deck faster. Let's go and do that. I know I'm going into an elite and I probably should have rested, but... Ugh, and it's this guy. So every time he hits me, I get a wound card, which is a dead card, essentially. Alright, so let's get Nirvana out now. Flurry of Blows for free. I'm going to toss the weak, because he does a lot of damage over time. Throw the defense, so now I've got it all blocked. Toss the strike. There we go. I wish I'd done more damage, but eh. What time is it? It's almost 3. Maybe we can run over and play some Deadlock in a little bit. Have you gotten to play Deadlock at all? So Deadlock is Valve's new MOBA shooter. So think... Like, if you've ever played Smite or seen Smite or anything like that, it's very similar, but imagine that kind of... It's a 6v6 game with aiming mechanics. If you could turn Overwatch into a MOBA, that's what it is. And I really, really enjoy it. Just lucky. I will take... We'll leave Third Eye there. Toss defense again. 4 times 2 is 12. So I can just go ahead and drop into Vigilance and get Flurry of Blows black for free. Woo! But Deadlock, it's been really fun. It is a little bit punishing if you're not a first-person shooter player. Foresight for my free 3 shield every turn. Third Eye to get a bunch coming. Let's get rid of Lessons Learned, an Eruption, and a Strike. Because they'll be coming back next round anyway. So that's blocked, so I can go ahead and just do a little more damage to him. Yeah, I have really been enjoying the Deadlock. The only problem is it's like super early alpha, which they didn't really want to launch it, but they did anyway. I'm guessing because of the whole Concord debacle. And so it's very rough, and it's only where matchmaking is only available during certain windows. So Monday through Thursday, you can't play versus other people unless you have like a dedicated group of 12, unless it's after 3 p.m. Central, right? And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it starts at 11 a.m. Central. So that's been the only real rough part. But, I mean, as long as you're working a 9 to 5, it's not a huge deal. Okay, 21 damage coming in. Cut through Fate to get the 3. Flurry of Blows. I'm already in Calm, right? I think I'm already in Calm. Yes, I'm already in Calm. So I can't... Discarding it's not going to do me any good. Let's just get rid of the... Well, no, I'd rather have the defend. Let's get rid of the Flurry of Blows, and if I swap, I'll be fine. Because now I can do that and get the block done at least. Alright... What do we got coming up? 24 damage. Let's get rid of the regular strike. I gotta figure out how to get more damage. Getting this down to 0 is kind of the real way to go, but playing the waiting game in the later fights is not gonna be easy. Third Eye, see what's coming up. Get rid of the curse. Just get rid of the regular strike. I'll keep Eruption coming. Defend. And toss the defend there. I can toss the Miracle to do 6 damage, but I just really don't think it's worth it. I just want to get that Sands of Time to 0 and then cycle through my deck as often as possible. I'll keep those. Oh no. This is no bueno. That's about to be a lot of damage. I'm going to go ahead and drink this one to upgrade all my cards. Scry to get more block. I can... Let me discard Flurry of Blows, because there's a reason for that. I've got the Tranquility for 0, so I can Eruption and a Wrath. I get the Flurry of Blows back. There's another 8. Man. Defend. Because it's, what, 6 times 5, so 30. I'll go ahead and strike. I can just exhaust my whole hand there. So what I can strike again. Oh no, I can't. That was dumb. I was including the Miracle. Drop back down to Tranquility. Get the Flurry of Blows back with another 4, and I'm just going to take a bunch of damage. Not much I can do. Yay, elites. Ouch. Okay, get rid of the bell. We can draw those other two. That's not a problem. So cut. Here, let me third eye first. Don't need lesson learned. What do I have in terms of defense? Vigilance. I can get rid of those two. Cut through fate to draw my other defend, which isn't going to do me any good. I'll go ahead and defense here just to not take any damage. But now my Sands of Time goes down to 0. So now I get to play for free. Now I can start running it through. Okay, so I will discard. Well, I can take Flurry of Blows. Let's get rid of the 6 times 6. I got 36 coming. I need those defenses. Okay, so Flurry of Blows. This is the fun part, right? I'm going to play a very dangerous game, though. Well, that'll be 52, so that should kill him anyway. So I can Eruption, right? Get the Flurry of Blows back. Cut through Fate. Get rid of both of those because I'm aiming for that Lesson Learned, which I didn't get, and just knock him out with that. So if I get the Lesson Learned, I kill him with that, I get to upgrade one of my cards permanently. Raise my HP by 10, always good. Having another third eye is not bad. Yeah, let's do another third eye. So now we got another rest. I still have 60 HP, so it's not a big deal. I need to get rid of my extra cards here. So I think, what do I have in terms of damage? I've got a lot of blocks. I can get rid of some defense. I need to start thinning my deck out because it's just getting overweighted now. All right, Nunchaku. Every time I play 10 attacks, gain an energy. Not a bad deal. All right. Do I want to go through another elite and get 2 fires? Or do I want to sit here and kind of run a safe run with only 1 fire? 1 chance at healing. Well, we got another round at least. Let's see how we feel at the end of this one. You're really doing that this early? Alright, well, Foresight, Defend. Just lucky. I need to go ahead and start doing that. I'd rather leave that third eye there. I mean, I forgot I started with 10 block because I always forget I have the anchor. I didn't need to play that Defend, which could have let me do an early Sands of Time. Well, no, because it would have been 4. Oop, somebody is at my front door. Is the wife watering? Yes, the wife is watering. What do we got coming? 6 damage. I'm not worried about that Defend. Let's get it out of the way. I can do something kind of silly here. So that's going to do 40. I can take him out. Let's do that. Okay, and then Eruption, which is going to give me my Flurry of Blows back. I can toss that there. Miracle to get Sands of Time. And then just knock him out, because I need to get him before he gets any stronger. And then end of turn. And then I should, with 9, I should at least draw one of my Calm swaps. Right, because I've discarded any. We can keep all that, that's fine. Alright, so Nirvana. Oh, that's right, I have the Haze, don't I? I need to go ahead and drop into Vigilance. Flurry of Blows again. And I take a damage. No biggie. No biggie at all. I can just discard that Dazed. It's not a big deal. Oof. I gotta defend what I can, right? I'm just taking a lot of damage in this fight. I may not go that elite route. Don't need that one. Toss the Just Lucky so I know it's coming. I can get rid of that strike. Cut through Fate. I get to choose. Choices, choices. Well, I mean, I've got the Tranquility to get it out. So I can go ahead and Eruption there. Strike. Strike. Defend. Tranquility. So that way I block all the damage. Get rid of the dazed again. I don't need the vigilance, although the block is nice. Flurry of blows again. Third eye to get a bunch of block. Get rid of the dazed. Lesson learned I'd like to have coming up. Sands of time. No, I just need to get him within that damage section. So defend plus. I'll take 2 damage and get him there. Because I need to make sure I get that lesson learned. So get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of the third eye because I don't need the block. I just need damage. Strike. I am 2 damage short. I am 2 damage short. That is so upsetting. Yeah. I'm not going to get to use it. I might as well weaken him up. Because now all I have to do is hit him once. Oh, take him out with the coin. Bam. Alright. Draw cards until your hand is full. It's not really helpful for what I'm doing. Another flurry of blows isn't a bad deal, though. Okay. So, since we took a lot of damage, I don't really want to go through the elite route over here. I mean, I could heal up here, but I'm taking all of these extra damages. So, we're going to go through the shop. Anything... I don't want pressure point. I don't want another flurry of blows. I've already got enough. Panacea just protects against the debuff. Let's do another card removal, I guess. Let's get rid of another one of these small little blocks. Because like I said, I have enough block cards. I need to start thinning stuff out. I will lose all of my gold. I'm not taking that fight. It is way too strong for what I've got going right now. What event do we have here? Obtain a relic, 50% chance to become cursed writhe. That's fine. I'll do that one. Prayer wheel. Normal enemies drop an additional card reward. Kind of late in the game for that, but... Alright, so 3 of our bird brothers. What these guys do is they take their first turn to get a buff, and then they start getting 1 strength additional each turn. So the longer your fight is, the more damage they do. Flurry of blows, get that out of the way. Nirvana. And we're good there. Just keep Sands of Time. We're about to get an extra energy here on my next attack. Alright. What can we do here? So I think the first thing we need to do is probably block, because I can't do enough damage to take one of them out. Get my Flurry of Blows back. I get my extra energy back. What do we have in terms of blocking? Like, nothing at all. Cut through Fate. Get rid of that. I get my defend, so I can drop that. So now that blocks the 18 there. I can go ahead and burn the miracle, so that way I can use the foresight and get the extra 3 block every turn for the free scry. Now, I've already used Lesson Learned, right? So I've got to shuffle around through it. I've got Tranquility. Let's get rid of the regular defend. The third eye's plenty of block. Both third eyes are good block. Yeah, because I don't want to sit there and try and do too much damage. Scry. And get rid of the regular strike. Well, let me just get rid of both of them, right? Because having both of those next round isn't a big deal. So 9 times 3 is 27. Let's go ahead and use that other third eye, get the block, and just hit him with a regular strike. But the Sands of Time is getting cheaper, so I should be able to cycle through a lot more often and continuously do 20 to 40 damage. Now, you guys take a rest round coming up, right? Nope. What do I want to do? I've got Lesson Learned with the Flurry of Blows. We'll draw that. That's fine. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. Flurry of Blows that guy. Eruption. Now all my damage is doubled. Another Flurry of Blows. Lesson Learned to upgrade a random card. Yay, bonus strike. Sands of Time is 1 for 40 damage. I can go ahead and take him down. And I can drop back into Tranquility, get another Flurry of Blows, And yes, I'm still taking 9 damage, but it's a lot better than taking what I was going to take with all of them attacking me. Let's get rid of the regular strike on that one. I'm already in calm, so that's really just good for the block. I'd rather just have the third eye. Let's see what I got coming up. I can don't need the third eye. Got a Just Lucky and a Cut Through Fate for the draw card. What do I want to draw? Is that all of it that I have? That's all 5 of my cards. So if I do the Cut Through Fate, I draw the Flurry of Blows. Or what I can do is do that, discard all of them, Cut Through Fate, and then scry 2, draw a card. So I just get a card. Just Lucky. We can go and discard that strike 2. I've got plenty, so I can just do the damage. Because I've already got plenty of block, there's no point in putting more block on him. We'll take this. Okay, so here's where we do just a ridiculous amount of damage. Both Flurry of Blows, Eruption for 9. Both of those Flurry of Blows come back. So now we just hit him again. So we get additional cards if we want them. Swivel, gain a block. Next attack you play costs 0 isn't a bad deal considering I have the Sands of Time. I just wish it was more block. Collect. Perseverance isn't a bad one to have. Just an extra retain. Let's see what the other one is. Bowling Bash, which is good to have. Just Lucky is another scry, so another free 3 shield. Or 3 block. I'm going to take the Just Lucky. I really need more damage, though, is my problem. Because I am really just stalling, and I've got to rest on this one. And I'm just adding more and more cards to my hand, which is... I mean, Flurry of Blows, it's okay to have more than 2 Flurry of Blows. Alright, so there's no point in worrying about that, so let's just get it out. Get Nirvana. I don't have to worry about blocking. So I can Miracle, and Cut Through Fate. Just get rid of the curse. And I'll draw that strike, because I don't want to accidentally draw a card I want. So this boy summons 2 little buddies. These 2 buddies, when they have their pink swirl, they steal a card from your deck, right? And then you have to defeat the little buddy to get your card back. So I've got a lot of damage coming in and no way to get back into Calm, so I don't want to enter Wrath, because I don't want to be taking 28 plus 16 damage. That's kind of an insta-kill for me. Let's go ahead and drink the Strength Potion, because I'm going to need every little bit I can get. Perseverance, I want to go ahead and leave in my hand. Just because it gets stronger the longer it retains in my hand. Let's get rid of the regular strike out of there. I just know what my next hand is going to be. How do I want to do this? Who do I want to weaken up first? Let's go ahead and get this guy since he's going to do damage to me. And I'm going to leave that where that is. So it should block all of it. Yeah. And let's see what card he steals. Sands of... That's the card I don't want you to steal. That's my big damage dealer. So what I'm going to have to do is pretty much power him down. Foresight. Strike. Because when I do knock him out, I get the card he stole back into my hand. So the sooner I get Sands of Time back into my hand, the sooner it gets cheaper. And then you stole Tranquility. So that's my get into Calm retain card. That's no bueno. What do we got coming? 28 damage. And I'm in Calm already? I am not in Calm. Let's get rid of the regular defend. Alright, just Lucky to see what's coming up. A regular strike. We can just go ahead and discard that. Deal 11 damage to go ahead and get that card back, because I need that to start getting cheap yesterday. Gain 9 block. And we're just going to take a little damage. Yeah, having something to give me continued strength would probably be good considering how slow my deck is going. Alright, so are all of my Flurry of Blows? Nope, they're all in my deck. So I don't want to worry about stance switching. I do need to get Tranquility back out as soon as possible. Let's go ahead and Third Eye here. Get rid of you. I'd rather keep Eruption. But if I use Cut Through Fate, I'll draw it. Choices, choices, choices. I can do something weird. Let's go ahead and discard that one. Let's discard all of that. Right? Cut Through Fate, which is going to cause me to draw Eruption. Or rather, discard Flurry of Blows again. Use Eruption. Now, all of my Flurry of Blows are going to come back into my hand. 16. 16. Now I get Tranquility back into my hand, so it stays. He's not doing any damage, so it's not a problem if I stay in Wrath. Just lucky I don't have anything to scry because my deck's empty over here. Third Eye is just gain 10 block. Not a big deal. We can let that go. And if I retain block, I would definitely be using it. Alright, now here's his big attack. So he does it like every 5 turns. I don't want Eruption. I do need to probably go ahead and get the defense in my hand. Okay, so I'm in Wrath, so let's go ahead and burn the Flurry of Blows real quick. Third Eye, let's see if I can... Let's discard Flurry of Blows, because I'm going to swap... Actually, what I can do... Well, yeah, let's discard all of that, because I want to draw my Just Lucky here in a second, right? Cut Through Fate. Discard that. Draw Just Lucky, which gives me another Scry, which is going to give me more block. We can leave that one there, because I'm going to need it here in a second. Use this one to drop into Tranquility, which halves that damage, and Flurry of Blows again. So now, instead of taking 100 some on, I'm still taking 26 damage, but it's a heck of a lot better than what it was. But now I also get a free turn against him, to where I get to kind of go nuts. I have discarded all of my Rage and Wrath. I do not need block for this round, so let's go ahead and discard those. Alright, Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows. Strike. Get extra energy anyway. Just lucky, I know that's coming. Sands of Time, let's go ahead and get it out. I wish I had that for Wrath, but I totally forgot I had that Perseverance in my hand. That would have been worth, what, 14 extra block? What does we got coming? It's a lot. I don't want Vigilance, and I don't really need the Strike. Okay, let's see what we got coming. Flurry of Blows. So I can do that. That's silly to do it that way, because Eruption would make it like... Because I'm already doing 26 coming at me. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that and force the shuffle, because that was silly of me to try and do that. I got it anyway. Alright. Do I want just 10 block to be okay? Because that's 29. He's got 26 coming at me. Yeah, let's go and do that, and we get the Scry. I don't have any way to change stance again, so Flurry of Blows I'd rather draw. Yep, there we go. End turn. I'm good to have all of that come to my hand. Thank you. Flurry of Blows. Just go ahead and spit that out now. Just lucky. See what we got. Ditch the defend. Just lucky. What do we got? Flurry of Blows. I can let that come in. Sands of Time. Let that cycle through again. Alright. He's going for another Hyper Beam on this one, right? Oh, no, not yet. So I can go Third Eye on this one. And get rid of those guys. Just lucky. Get the defense up there, so I've got most of it blocked. I mean, I'm only taking 1 damage. I'd rather let the Perseverance for the next Hyper Beam, because, I mean, that's most of the Hyper Beam coming. Okay, we got 1 more turn until Hyper Beam, so... yeah, let's do this, because now we're going to get a little silly with it. So, Flurry of Blows. Get that out of the way. Eruption. Now we're doing double damage. Get the Flurry of Blows out of the way. Cut through Fate. I mean, I'm going to discard the Flurry of Blows because now I get the Sands of Time. He's gone. 44 damage, just like that. All right, into phase 2. Liquid Blonde. Liquid Blonde. Sometimes you just got to change your hair color. Deus Ex Machina. Whenever you draw this card, add 2 miracles, which is essentially 2 energy whenever I want it. Establishment is actually pretty good for retained. It makes you a little bit more, I don't know, shiny in the sunlight. I'm trying to think. Do I want Establishment? Because it does make my Sands of Time faster. And if I do that one, I'll take Establishment. Because if I get one of the Smite generation abilities, it's going to really work out for me. Elite drop an additional relic. I don't know if I want to go elite hunting. Starting with 3 miracles in my hand is really handy. And then gain an extra energy, but I can no longer obtain potions. I think at this point I'm okay not taking potions and getting the extra energy. I am sitting at just under 2 hours. I'm going to actually go take a quick 6-minute break. I'm going to toss you over to our Champion Child video. Mixer, please. Not the actual headphones. I need to go refill my water and step down the hall real quick. So I will be back here in about 6 minutes. I will see all of you very shortly. Be right back.
18 weeks. The ultrasound ended with the words, "I have to go get the doctor."
He was, like in a little incubator and had like tons of cords and tubes.
Like, well, there's something wrong, and I mean, we had no idea.
Part of the thrill of baseball.
He always keeps his eye on the ball. Here comes the pitch. It's a hit.
Connor was born at 36 weeks at OU Children's Hospital. I don't think I've ever seen so many people in a delivery room. It was just crazy, like how many different doctors and nurses and different people were in that room assisting him. Within 2 days, he had his first surgery, and they had to go in and basically kind of sew him back together. And then when he was 5 days old, he had to have a surgery to put a shunt in because he had fluid buildup in his brain. So I am actually a registered nurse. And so even having a nursing background, there was a lot of terminology and a lot of things I knew, but it's a little different when it's your own kid. There's a lot of things that hit differently. Our daughter at that time, Lily, was 5, so it's a big adjustment for her too. Like, a lot of attention was shifted to Connor too. I kind of started out looking for other families that maybe were sharing this medically complex life, or even other spina bifida families. And we actually were connected to another family. Their son had spina bifida, and he was actually the same age as our daughter. So they, in turn, actually kind of referred us to CHF. We first kind of got acquainted with the organization through their dance marathons. Through that, we then just kind of met some other families through that. So that's a big part of our village, I would say, is like CHF and other organizations that families like share that common bond. There's orthopedic issues, there's like kidney and bladder issues, there's mobility issues. CHF helps to provide funding and resources to be able to have all those doctors and resources available and locally.
Some of the doctors that Connor uses, if we had to switch neurosurgeons all the time, it's extra anxiety that it puts on our family, because You know, we've used one neurosurgeon, and there's some kids that have specialties that Oklahoma doesn't provide, you know, that they do have to go out of state. If his shunt quits working, he gets sick really fast, and it's very dangerous. So just to have the hospital that close, or, you know, an ambulance that can get to our house and then get to a hospital quickly, is very important for us. I always knew growing up, you know, I wanted to be a dad. You know, I played sports. I wasn't very athletic, but I enjoyed sports, and so I played them anyways. There's this you know, program that we go to that allows me to be in a wheelchair with him, and to be able to like play sports with him. And he, you know, and I'm in the wheelchair too, which, you know, he gets kind of excited about that Dad's in a wheelchair. And so we'll play tennis, or we'll throw a football, or I think one time we did basketball in them. And then just having to do it differently, it's awesome.
Even though my brother has a lot of medical issues, like he's not much different than any other sibling. Like, we still fight, we still get to laugh. He tries to beat me at video games. Like, he's just like any other sibling. Having a brother with special needs, you grow up in a little bit of a different perspective, seeing those challenges and those things that he goes through that not a lot of typical like kids go through. And so I think that that's kind of like, he's had such a big influence and impact on me and who I am as a person. I've always known since I was a young age that like I want to do something that like helps people. Like I'm like my mom, I love to help people, and I'm a natural caregiver. So I think that being around him and like seeing him and how strong he is, like it's made me want to do something that I can do to help give back to him and kids like him.
I've actually invited some other families to this organization just because of what it's meant to our family, and having them participate in some of the family events and stuff like that, just to let them know as well, like the same things that we have experienced and that we feel. And, you know, sometimes that even, you know, goes even further, and that reach that this organization has just then goes even further. And I think that's important.
Unmute again, streamer. So not only did I mute on OBS, but I muted on my soundboard too, just because, you know, nobody wants to hear me go down the hall to use the bathroom. I am so good at pro streaming. Hey, I'm pretty sure it's a rite of passage to do it at least once a month, and I've been really good recently, so it's the first time I've forgotten to do it in a while. So, thank you everybody for hanging with that. If you hadn't seen it before, that's Connor. Connor is one of the reasons we do this whole extra life thing. So if you'd like to support kids like Connor in their journey through healthcare, check out the QR code above me. Check out the About link that way, just below the stream. And thank you everybody who does donate to mess with me. I know Mortis over there loves messing with the Dixper overlays. All sorts of fun with that. And we really appreciate it. It is never required. We're just glad you guys are here. So without further ado, let's get back into the game, shall we? So we are on our third and final map. Oh yeah. Or, you know, you and your dang Discord soundboard for every time. Ah! I'm never ready for it. I should know better. Like, I see you pop up in chat. I was like, okay, I got a little while before it comes off. It's like, no, you hit go and then go. But yeah, that knock sound of yours, oh my god, it is so obnoxious. You should be very proud of it. All right, so we are thankfully back up to full health because we're on a new map. I am not super interested in taking down elites on this one, especially since most of the events end up dropping really hard fights in our lap anyway. We've got some pretty decent relics to choose from or to work with. I think this right side will be safer. But to get there safely, we need to come in from this underside. So any of these three paths. I say we go this one because it's got the other active ability. So these guys are very similar to our bird friends. They just gain 3 strength a turn. So they get powerful really fast. Again, having a slow ability is not necessarily the best thing. Get Nirvana out there. Get Third Eye. Get rid of Curse the Bell. I can go ahead and dump Flurry of Blow. I'd rather have it, especially if I'm going to jump into Vigilance. Get Establishment. So that means anytime I retain a card like these, they get 1 cheaper every turn. Kind of like Sands of Time is. It just does it for all of my retained cards. And I don't really need to... Well, I can scry again because I got the extra 2 I get to mess with. Having Eruption... We'll get rid of that Defend and see what that looks like. And then end that turn. Well, like, again, I had that extra 3 strength. I didn't have a single attack to throw at him. So I really need to get some solid attack cards in here. So, with what we have, we can Flurry of Blows. Right? We can Eruption, which gets our Flurry of Blows back. We can Vigilance to drop back and down into the Calm. Flurry of Blows again. See, this is where those Flurry of Blows cards come into handy. Drop the Foresight so we get the extra Scry. Now, we're still going to take a little damage, but that's okay. I did a lot of damage back. Not that I know of. As far as I know, this is only solo, but they have daily challenges that'll give you a certain class and a certain build. Like, the more you play it, the more you understand what cards you're going to get, what relics you're going to see out of what items, so you're just trying to get like high scores. And then they've got an infinite mode out there which lets you keep climbing over and over and over again to see how far you can get.
No!
I'm so sorry that they don't have multiplayer for you.
No! God, please, no! No! No!
It's all my fault.
No!
I'm sorry, Michael. Look at all of that attack and no defense. It's okay. We've got some scry. Let's go ahead and discard the burn. I can keep that lesson learned because that might... I mean, I'm still taking some damage, but as long as I can still do some damage, I can possibly get a free upgrade on a card. I really haven't gotten much use out of it, have I? Perseverance, I'm not really all that worried about this early. End of my turn, take 2 damage. So let's go ahead and Flurry of Blows again. I just need to get it down to 13, right? So 6. Lesson learned, free upgrade. Foresight is upgrade, Scry 4. Blessing of the Forge, I get... Oh, that's right, Sozu. I don't get any of my potions anymore. Boo. Okay, so I need damage. How is my deck looking? How much skill base is it versus how much attack base? It's kind of split. I mean, if I'm doing a defensive round... Does it 2 vulnerable, so I get that round plus the round after it? I'll take that. I mean, I really don't think it's a good idea. I have all the extra energy. Maybe some big damage cards aren't a bad idea at this point. Because as it is, I'm not going to be able to out-sustain the big bosses. Alright, receive 2 madness, lose 11 HP, become cursed, heal 22, or just lose 4 max. Madness is fun, but most of my stuff is cheap. I think I'd rather just lose the max HP. Alright, so these guys have lifelink. What that means is you have to kill them all within 2 turns together, otherwise they respawn at half health. So you have to be a little bit methodical with how you plan this. So we can Flurry of Blows real quick. I don't have anything to get me out of Eruption, so I don't want to drop into Wrath for this one. Let's get rid of the 2 strikes on that. So the real trick of it is you want to kind of keep them all level in terms of their damage. So as it stands, I'm taking what, 8, 7 damage? There's not much I can do about that. I don't really want to throw the Thorns potion out there. Yeah, we got an end turn on that one. We're just taking damage. Got to get ready for Extra Life Hype Call this evening at 7 o'clock. If anybody out there is interested in learning more about Extra Life or getting involved. Okay, that was perfectly timed. Trying to do a sales pitch here, Jay Jonah. Perfect timing as always, Mortis. So if anybody's more interested in getting involved with Extra Life, would like to learn how to recruit their own Extra Life team or get involved, there's going to be a hype call tonight at 7 p.m. Let me go check our national Discord real quick to see if they've got a general link. If not, I can get the link. If anybody's interested, don't hesitate to DM me. Yeah, best and worst time. Like I said, you've got a gift, son. Feel free to shoot me a Twitch DM or connect with me in the Discord. And again, I can kind of drop our Discord link over here to support us. Let's see, where is our invite links? Invite people. So I'll drop this link right here. If you'd like to join our little local Extra Life Oklahoma City Discord, don't hesitate to click that link and come on in. We'd love to have you. I will put more information on the Twitch Hype Call tonight in that Discord. But if not, again, we're always just happy to have you. So please feel free to just sit back and enjoy. We need to do a lot of damage. I think we need to kind of focus on getting one down. Let's get Nirvana done so I can get some extra block. Flurry of Blows over here. Because if I can at least get like 2 down and they regen at half health, it's not a big deal because Sands of Time will be ready to go at that point. Just lucky again. It's too early for you, but I'll see if I'll actually cycle back around. Cut through Fate. I'll get rid of the crush joints because I can reach heaven over here. Because I mean, I can't do anything other than just take damage. This one is unfortunately a really powerful, painful event. What on earth is going on here? Oh, good lord. Somebody got a hold of one of my WordPress sites. Well, they didn't get a hold of it. The bots are in the back doing comments. It was like, hey, please answer the comments. Please answer this. Like, I don't have comments showing anywhere on the website. Okay, so establishment speeds up Sands of Time, but we've already got it pretty low. I may not even have to use it at this point. These guys are going to defense, so if I can drop this guy really quick, that might be a good idea. Let me go in Vigilance. I wish I'd have thought I'd have put the Flurry of Blows back. I got the energy, so let's just go ahead and toss off our abilities here. And a defense. And in turn, get Sands of Time. So now it dropped 2 off the cost of that Sands of Time. That's the cool part about Establishment, is it speeds that up a lot. Alright, so now I got a good 20 damage to do. What are they coming at me with? A whole bunch of damage again. Let's just get rid of the regular strike. I'll keep the other 3. Alright, so I got a Through Violence, which is a free, easy 20 damage. But it goes away. So let me Third Eye real quick. Just Perseverance coming up. That's fine, we can keep that there. We're about to do a big drop there. So let's get rid of our big damage over here. So now he's got 2 turns. What I can do is put the Through Violence on him. Put the defense up. Leave the Tranquility because I'm going to need it to shift change out of Wrath here in a second. But since that Sands of Time, there's no point in me holding on to it, especially since I'm about to shuffle my discard back into my hand. I want that chance of that showing back up in this hand again. Alright, so unfortunately I will only have 1 Flurry of Blows to cycle. But that's okay. So let's hit Big Boy over here. Go into an Eruption. Get Flurry of Blows again. Cut through Fate on this guy. I'm going to discard both of them because I don't want to block. I want damage. Come on. Lesson learned. Let's just go ahead and get rid of him. I get an upgrade. Oh, he's got to actually die. Crush Joints. Okay. So unfortunately, Lesson learned doesn't work on those guys unless it was the last one killed. Good to know for future. Carve Reality is the fun one I was talking about because especially with the retention, these smites stay in your hand until you use them. So having Carve Reality is 10 damage, and I get 12 damage again for another one. But if I have that Establishment skill, it turns into free smites. There's also a skill that, or a power that gives you a smite a turn. I'm not worried about Meditate. Let's go and do Carve Reality. Ah, Weave. This is the one I've been looking for. Normally I can't get rid of this card, but I finally get a Scry build, and I never picked up Weave. So Weave is the same thing as Flurry of Blows, but for Scry. So, you know, okay, this is a cool event. So basically you get to save a card and store a card. So I can do this, and I can store a card from my deck to whenever another person gets to this one, can find that card. Whether it be anybody can use the card. So if there's something I want to save for like a later run that I've got too many of, like my extra third eyes, or I want to save something late game like this Nirvana, but this is something you want early, you can stick it in there and make sure you always get it later. Honestly, I don't know if there's anything I truthfully want to store. I can't go back. I have to choose. I just put the Iron Wave back in there. Because Iron Wave's not all that great of a card. I went the wrong way. I've got to go through the Elite now. I wasn't paying attention. This round's probably going to be over. Okay, so he's doing a curse early. Let's go ahead and get our powers out real quick. And I can't do anything about Sense of Time, so, I mean, I can toss the defense, but it's no biggie. It's a shame I didn't get to do any damage to this guy. Okay, so he made me gain less armor and do less damage. So I have Tranquility in hand. I can go ahead and do an Eruption. I have Miracle. I wish I had some good stance dancing stuff. So let's go ahead and do Eruption. Do the Reach Heaven, because that's a big chunk of damage. Just lucky to get some extra stuff. I'll keep that in there. That's fine. And I can just dip back to Vigilance and block that. Excuse me. Nose itch. This is the reason you need a VTuber avatar. So that way I can just sit there and dig for gold on stream and nobody would be the wiser. Other than the, you know, the face going a little slack. Alright, so I wish I could get back into Wrath again for my Through Violence. But it is a retain card, so I can just keep it and wait for this to wear off. Let's go ahead. I don't really need to block. Let's cut through Fate. Ooh. Early enough, I can discard Weave. Okay, so here's the cool part, right? So that was the end of Scry, so now every time I Scry, that Weave is going to come back. I can discard the Lesson Learned. It's not a big deal. But that Weave comes back. Another free one. Third Eye. Scry again. Let's discard... Oof. I mean, the Strike. Probably the Strike plus. I'd rather keep the Flurry of Blows. I need what little damage I can get right now. Weave comes back because I Scried. Sands of Time, it's already 0, and I'm going to get close to reset. Let's go ahead and just do a little damage there. And a regular Strike. I wish I could do a lot more damage than I'm doing. It's just, it's not building up as fast as I want it to. My defense is great. Flurry of Blows, we can just go ahead and toss out. I need to do a skill first, so let's do Third Eye. Discard Curse of the Bell. And I'm not going to be able to stance chance, so I'd rather just get the Flurry of Blows. Weave. Ah, why did I do that? Defend. Crush Joints. I want that vulnerable. Because next turn I should be able to get a Violence. Is that my establishment? Yeah. Still no Violence, but I can pitch off an early Flurry of Blows, which is fine. Carve Reality, which puts that Smite into my hand. That one I want to keep because I want all this to double here in a little bit. And a defense for all the good it does me. Because see, now all of these are 0, so all I get that... I have the Tranquility, so now all I need is my Eruption. If it would ever show up. Just lucky, we can discard that. I can go ahead and use the Perseverance, right? Because then I can use the Crush Joints again, which will give us the vulnerability. I'm going to go ahead and cut through Fate to hope I can find it. Nope. I mean, honestly, I'd rather keep the third eye at this point. There you are. I'll get rid of these 3. So that way I know they're coming up in my next hand. Because now I know I have an eruption coming, which means all of this is going to double. Strike, and I wish I had some more defense, but it's all covered. Alright, so now I get this beautiful card here. Alright, so first and foremost, Flurry of Blows and Weaves. Get them done. Eruption. Flurry of Blows comes back. Bam, bam, bam. Sands of Time does 40. Puts it at 6. As much as I want to use these other ones, I want to upgrade the cards. I should have been doing that all around and just haven't been having any luck. Getting an extra Tranquility is not a bad deal. Let's see what my other one is. And another Cut Through Fate would be good. Yeah, let's go for that. So another Tranquility and another Cut Through Fate. Because I just need that retention. As much as I would love to upgrade or remove a card, I need to rest. Deus Ex Machina is not a bad one to have because it's not really a dead card. It's a dead draw. But it's that miracles I need to spend more energy to be able to do more damage. Alright, so this one, our snake lady here summons these snake swords. Or snake daggers over and over and over again. So you can knock them out, which you need to do. But she's going to continuously summon more. So first thing we need to do is let's toss out the defend. We can Crush Joints one of these daggers. So I got an extra energy. Flurry of Blows. So now one of the daggers is gone, which is good to have. I do wish I had more card draw. Who'd have thought that would have ever been a problem? Now I'm ending up with too much energy, not enough cards. Alright, and she does pretty substantial damage on her own. Okay, so we can third eye for the block, see what's coming up. I don't hate any of those. Let's go ahead and leave that. Flurry of Blows. I need to knock this guy down, but I don't know if I've got enough damage. I don't. This round's going to hurt. So I can drink the liquid bronze. I'm going to need it. I'm going to toss that one out because I need the extra shield. Or block. Because this round's going to hurt. And the cool thing about Thorns, right, is that it attacked for each attack. So she had a 13 times 2, so she took 2 rounds of Thorns. Alright, so now, and of course I'm dealing less than I want to. What do I need to get you to? 9, so Flurry of Blows, just lucky. I'm not going to hate that one. Fate, I need to get you to what? Is it 6? Of course I can't see it. That'll be fine. 9. Okay, so that kills. It doesn't work on minions? That card has lost all love for me now. Not worth. Miracle, let's go ahead and get this Reach Heaven. And just the 4 damage isn't enough for me to worry about blowing a Miracle. I'm going to need it for some of my more expensive stuff coming in. Alright. Now I have Eruption and Tranquility. Let's go ahead and weave real quick. Do I want to focus on taking the dagger down first? Weave. Eruption. Where's my regular one? 8. Let's go and get that. Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows. Third eye to get some block. Get rid of that. It's a little late, but I'd rather have it all nonetheless. Get our weave back. Drop into Vigilance since I have the extra energy. Flurry of Blows, Flurry of Blows, Flurry of Blows. And I don't have anything to gain any more health, which is unfortunate. Alright, now I just need a bunch of damage, which I have no shield. So, Scry. I wish it would let me carve, but weave. Nothing else lets me scry, does it? Carve reality. I just don't have enough to survive, period. And doing that doesn't change. I mean, I can toss it, but it should. It doesn't actually change the stance, so it doesn't pull my flurry of blows out. Yep, that's end of round. Ouch. We tried. Oh, I have one? Left at one? Oh! I was not prepared. I was not prepared. Okay, hold on. Where's my actual, like, sound volume here? Anyway. I mean... Woof. Thanks, Thurston. I wasn't ready. Okay, so what can we do here? We can do... I don't think going for defense at any point is going to be worth it. It's a shame I'm still doing reduced damage. Oh, the wound is not great. Brew violence. I mean, getting 3 shield, is it really going to be enough? I need to get 50 damage down. Well, I retain them anyway, so it's not going to matter whether I do it this turn or not next turn. I just need to be able to knock out 50 damage, or it's not enough. And I don't think I have weave in there. Do I want to waste a slot on block? I think we're going to go ahead and pitch it off and hope we just draw a whole bunch of damage. Okay, so flurry of blows. Strike. Smite. 20 damage and 3 damage with just lucky. Oh my goodness. We got out of there with 1 health. Every 3 times you shuffle your draw pile, gain 2 energy. That's really good. Alright, now I'll take steady because I am running out of cards. Now I need to get to a fire yesterday. The only way I can get there potentially safely is this way. Now that question mark can still be a monster. Dexterity. I wish I had something that would heal me. Strawberry was max HP, but I don't know if it gives me base HP. I'm gonna try it. It does. Okay, so it does give me base HP. It's about the only thing I could really worry about. Wallop. 9, and you gain block equal to the block damage dealt, so you can get up to 18, unless you're in Divinity, in which case it's 24, but I don't have anything close to Divinity. But it would be 2 for 9 damage, 9 block. It's just too expensive for me. If it had Retain, I would take it. Alright. Come on, give me the waffle. Alright, start combat with 1 strength. Cool. No battle. No battle. Lose all gold, obtain a relic. Well, I just got out of a shop. Awesome. We'll get the red mask, which is just 1 week to all enemies, so they just take more damage, or do less damage on round 1. So, good deal. Have to rest, period, no matter what. Foreign influence just lets me get a random attack from any class into my card. Sash Whip with weak is probably not bad. Again, I hate bloating my deck at this point. But I've been so weak, I need better attacks, and having the additional... Really, I get the tentacle. I'm not ready for the tentacle. Okay, well, Nirvana, Foresight, Defend, and turn. Let Sands of Time just get cheaper. I'll keep the Deus Ex Machina, Tranquility, the Vigilance. We'll take the Eruption. Hey, you're a different color all of a sudden. Thanks, Twitch chat. You've been red the whole time, and now you're teal. You're just messing with me. All right, so we can pitch off Establishment. I've got Tranquility, Flurry of Blows. Do the Eruption. We get Flurry of Blows back. I can toss the Miracle, and I can do an early Sands of Time just to get damage on the board. Now, I have a Tranquility in hand, so I can swap based on what they're doing next round. That is, what, 10 damage at the end of every round? I'm not going to worry about Study this fight. Not going to worry about the Strike. And I'm going to swap, so I'll go ahead. Well, let me draw the Flurry of Blows. At least let me get the extra damage. Okay, so. I will go ahead and toss the Perseverance, because it lets me get the Crushed Joints. Toss both my Flurry of Blows. And just Lucky. Get rid of that. Okay. Toss Third Eye. I don't think I have Weave already. I'll take all of that. And then jump into Tranquility. Flurry, Flurry, damage. I should have saved that last one to get the lesson learned that I knew I was getting last time, just to get the extra level up. I don't need any of those because they're not upgraded. Having a second Sands of Time is not a bad deal. No more elites, thank you. Oh no. It's okay. This is a defensive. I'll be okay for Thorn Boy. Alright. I'm gonna do something silly. Toss the Miracle early. So I can get the Crushed Joints. Because I need to knock one of these guys out. Just Lucky. We can get him... Can't believe it's 10 damage. And 13. Okay. Just needed to toss all that so I could get one down. And this guy is a pain because he has an innate 3 thorns. So every time I hit him, he does 3 damage to me. So I have to make sure I have shield on before I hit him. Alright, toss Third Eye out. Get rid of the Dazed. I can do that. Do I have another Scry in my hand, though? I'd rather just draw it. And I'll get rid of the Defend. Okay. I have 10 shield. Is it a good time to hit Big Boy? We'll reach Heaven him because I have the defense. Because I can carve Reality you and be fine. And a Flurry of Blows on our little buddy here that's causing us daze. Now he's going to get 2 more shield. I probably should have gone ahead and hit him. Alright. What do we got? Weave. Toss Nirvana out. Lesson learned is 14 damage, so I can smite and get a lesson learned. Because I don't really have any defense to take on Thorn Boy. So I can do the lesson learned. We get an upgrade, just another strike. And we'll hold on to that, because those guys are getting cheaper. So now all I need is like a Third Eye to get a really big shield. Which, of course, I didn't get squat for shield. Okay, so what we can do here is Defend and Perseverance. Through Violence or Sand of Time. So they're all doing the same. So Through Violence I can do for cheap. Let me toss off the Sands of Time. End turn. Now all I have to do is just get 9 defense, and then I can hit him with the Through Violence and I'm good. Which, Vigilance right there. I've got 9. There's 9. Piece of cake. Not taking any damage. Ancient Potion goes away due to Sozu. Extra Flurry Blows is always good to have. Let me go ahead and get the Consecrate. And let me get the extra Weave. Hope for no battle. We are skipping this one, because I do not have the damage to beat these guys. And that gives us a chance to rest and get up at least to 2/3 health. I'll take just, well... Yeah, I'll take just Lucky. That's another set of Scries. Alright. So, Deka and Donu. This one right here ends up doing a bunch of damage. This one increases strength. So you have to kind of burst down Donut as fast as possible. Which is a bit of a problem because I'm not a very bursty build. So he does 20 off the top. How do I want to do this? We can get an easy third eye, right? Oh, I can do something silly. So I can go ahead and discard weave, right? Oh, spacebar does that. Good to know. Discard weave and the defend because I'm not going to need it. That is very nice. So, a couple of weave hits because I've got the extra damage. Excuse me. Just lucky for free. Sure. We'll let the crush joint stay there. Get the 2 weaves. Third eye again. I'm okay having all of that come to my hand next turn. Get 2 weaves. Carve reality to get the smite. It's ephemeral. So I can really just toss it out and be done. I could have saved it to have eruption to do twice damage, but not bad. 100 damage in 1 round. Because I got lucky with all those scries. So the scry build is finally working, and now I don't have any scries at all. Alright, so I can toss Miracle, so I can at least get the Crush Joints proc. As it stands, I am taking 26 damage. Ouch. I'm going to just do the 1. Didn't need to go and do the shield. It wasn't necessary. Alright, lesson learned is something I can probably just get rid of. Study I get for free because the miracle's right here, right? Are my weaves still in here? My weaves are still in there. Let's do some scrying. Okay, so cut through fate. I'm going to get rid of perseverance. I mean, I really need to get it in my hand. I've got another scroll. I'll get both of them. Weave. Cut through fate again. I mean, I have to get rid of the consecrate just so I get the extra scry here. So I get another set of weaves. I need the defense. Yeah, let's go ahead and take the defense. Well, I'm not drawing it, which is a problem. Weave. Perseverance is a whole 6 block, but it's what I got. Yep, just end turn. Alright, but now we get some extra card draw, which helps. This one's gonna hurt. Alright, I gotta do some serious damage. That eruption will come up eventually. I really should have gone ahead and taken the, the enrage. Alright, how are we looking here? So, we still have the weaves, so that's what we should probably look at doing. Let's just lucky. I can get rid of the foresight. That's not a big deal. Weaves come back. Those are attacks, so we can sash whip and get the weaken, so that's less damage just coming from it. Get the establishment. That'll make Sands of Time free next turn. Toss the defend. Reach heaven. Shuffle the big damage in there. There's no point in me using your tranquility or the miracles. Just still taking 12 damage. I mean, those weaves are coming in handy. I wish they were upgraded, though. Alright, so we have Vigilance to give me some defense. I can do it for free. I really wish I had a good scry set up, though. Full Insight, because I think I can get 2 more. Nirvana. I've got the free Tranquility, so I'm gonna do this. So Eruption. Flurry of Blows. Through Violence. I mean, I'll just strike. Okay. Sands of Time for free. We'll get some real damage in there. And I'd rather save that Tranquility and get the shield for that. Get another... Whew! Okay, so Donut is down. So now we just have to deal with shield and consistent damage. Which isn't necessarily the easiest thing to do. So... And I've got to shuffle back through to get through my attacks. So Insight, draw 2. That's fine. Flurry of blows. We can insight again. Shuffle it back. Draw 2. Perseverance is fine to have early. Strike. I would rather that become free, but I can go ahead and toss that out. And let's keep Perseverance so it'll turn free and gain block each time, which I'll probably need for next round. Okay, well, Sash Whiff off the top, because, oh, that's right, he had Artifact. Flurry of Blows. I don't think I'm going to have enough to survive, because even with that, that's only 8, and I'm still taking too much. Nope. We tried. Oh, wait, I have Lizard Tail still. Woo! Saved by Lizard Tail. Come back at half health. Okay. Pitch off the Dazed. I'm not worried about them. Those are just dead card spots at this point. Weave. And Consecrate. We just get that out of the way. Just lucky. That's fine. But we get our Weave back. 3 Sands of Time. I mean, I can toss the Defend, but it's not really a big deal. Oh! I said, my deck's still getting too bogged down. I'm not drawing what I need. With Third Eye, let's go ahead and get rid of the Dazed. Okay, so the Weave came back because I got the free Scry. So toss out the 2 Weaves, right? Toss out Third Eye, which is good block. Toss off the Dazed. The rest is fine. Get Weave back. Cut through Fate. I'll take the Just Lucky because really I'm in a DPS race with him. Weave. Just Lucky. Scry again. Weave again. Toss the defense. And I'm not going to kill him with Lesson Learned, so let's just go ahead and pitch off the damage. And then turn. Almost protected all against all that. That's all card draw. I'll take that. Alright, Weave again. Insight to draw 2. Just Lucky. That's fine. We get Weave back. We have Insight. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. It's okay. Insight to draw 2. Third Eye. To get Weave back. I really want all of that. I don't have... Oh, I do have 2. Okay, we're discarding both of those. Okay. Cast Weave. Because now I get to Insight. And watch this. Eruption. Flurry of Blows. Miracle. Cut through Fate. Got him. Bless you, Lizard Tail. Bless you. All right. Attack. 728 damage, which unlocks 728 points towards our unlock, which I should be our last unlock. We're going to approach the door. I don't think it heals us for the door, unfortunately, which does stink. So I've got to do the final boss with half health, which is 2 tentacles that flank you, which means the one behind you does more damage. It's not really fun. Oh, it does heal me. Woo! Awesome. All right, so we get a campfire. So I think what I'm going to do is reduce the amount of cards I have in my deck. Because look at this. All right, the study didn't turn out so bad after all. Who goes? Oh no! I can't read my cards! Let's get rid of our regular strike. I've got 27 gold, so it's not like I'm going to be able to do anything in here. I can get Prostrate, which is Mantra and Block. I mean, for 0, I'll do something dumb and take that. Because if I can do it 5 times, now, with the way the deck's set up, it's unlikely to happen. If I can do that 5 times, I get a Divinity round. Okay, so this right here, anybody that's got the arrow does 50% more damage, okay? And whenever you attack an enemy, you face that enemy. Okay, so first and foremost, let's just get our Weaves out. Now, this guy does a lot of bulk damage with the shield. This guy does a lot of rapid fire damage with multiple hits. So we get a Defend, woohoo. Just lucky, get to see what's coming up. I'll take Perseverance early, just toss out the strikes. Weave, strike, do some damage. Now he shields both of them up, and then next turn he'll attack with like a big one, and then he'll get a big poke. Okay, so Nirvana, because we need that. Is it worth? I mean, I've got to toss off the defense anyway. That is a lot of damage. So do I just want to burn Lesson Learned, or do I want to do Carve Reality and keep the Smite? Because I think keeping the Smite would be smarter. And I don't have Establishment yet. I save that because the 13 won't get through his shield. But if I save it, I'll have it for when they're unshielded on this one. They just do so much damage, man. Now see, here's one of the ones is, do you take the 51 or do you take, what is that, plus 50, 14 damage? This is one of those where you kind of have to turn. Alright, so pop out Establishment, which is great, because that'll make Perseverance free. Third Eye, so that gets a Scry. I'm going to get rid of Prostrate. I am not worried about keeping it. Foresight. Man, I kind of have to keep all of these as is. Weave, I get a free damage. Because if I face him, that's 30 damage. And I feel like I got to get a calculator. So it's 10 plus, so he's doing plus 50. It's like 30-something damage if I face him. Well, here, I can do this. So that right there is 61. Smite. So 14 is 58. So it's less this way. Do I want to save the extra 8 block? I feel like I need to go ahead and toss the 8 block and try and survive as long as possible. Alright, so that's just a buff, so I can focus on taking him down, but again, that's a lot of shield to have to bust through. Let's get Foresight going. Third Eye to get block, so I can pick what I draw next. Drawing that Sands of Time would be kind of nice. So with the Flurry of Blows, though, I mean, I can go ahead and get them. Actually, what I do is discard this back one, or excuse me, discard the first one, so I draw the Sands of Time. Right. Oh, I've got Weave. I think I'm okay, because I'm going to end up with... Well, I'm not going to end up with any more shield, am I? And I think you're just increasing... Can I get that much damage done, though? Okay, let me do something. I'll weave this way to turn it that way. Sash Whip to give him weak. So that's 9. So that'll be fine. Cut Through Fate this way. And I can get the Sand of Time back. I've got enough defense. Get Weave. I can Miracle to go ahead and Sands of Time over here to do another 20. And that's going to take 2 off that one. Keep the Miracle cards for now. Because that's blocked. And you, I think, just buffs strength, right? So now it gets really scary. Is there anything I don't want in this hand? I don't need another Tranquility. I can go ahead and discard that. Alright, Weave. Flurry of Blows. Get that out of the way now. Because I can Vigilance real quick. And get all my Flurry of the Blows back. Let me Consecrate just to see. Make sure it didn't turn me. Okay. Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows. Flurry of Blows. More energy back because of Nunchuck. Just lucky. That's fine. I'll take another Scry. Weave. Cut Through Fate to get a Scry. Get Just Lucky back. Get a Weave. Just Lucky again. Get another Weave. And Sands of Time. I don't have any more attacks to do, but hey, I like those chains. We take those. Thought I had enough to fully block that. That's unfortunate. I mean, I've got the Miracle. I think I can take everything in my hand and be okay. Okay, so I've got to get through 30 damage, though, to knock him out. And then still have one attack to be able to turn around to defend myself. Let's see what we can do here. So I don't have a skill I can use, and nothing is drawing. That's unfortunate. How many attacks do I have? So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 attacks. And I need to get 42 damage. Which I don't think I have in total, so that's what, 22. 31. I've got enough to turn me. Okay, well, let's just do it. So reach heaven. Strike. Crush joints. That's not enough to... Where did my math go wrong? Is it because of the negative strength? That's unfortunate. So that's still only 6 damage. I mean, I'm toast no matter what then. So study. I can weave him. But I'm still taking 36. So, nope. We tried. I would have liked to see I'll at least show you all the heart battle on that one. Like I said, the final boss run...
Emotional damage.
Emotional damage. Indeed. But we got the last unlock for it. So, Strike Dummy. Cards contain Strike. Deal 3 additional damage. That's awesome. Start each combat in Calm, which is awesome. Cloak Clasp. At the beginning of each return, gain 1 block for each card in your hand. That's really cool for card draws. Those are really good relics for that one. Oh, man. All right, so we've got enough time for another round. This one will be a lot faster since I'm not re-explaining the whole game. I do want to do something really quick, though. Let me go look at my collections. Where is it? Where is it? Where's all my meme? There you are. You used to be able to test these. Hold on, because we're going to try, because we have gotten 2 of the same Thurston. I want to see if we can get us a different one real quick. Hold on. If not, I can stop it real quick. Which one are we going to get? Whenever you're ready. Alright, well, I'll do it this way then. Let's see if we can get us a different one, because you put one earlier. No, that's the one we always get. Try again. I want to see a different one. There we go. Rip headphones. I love the Thurston Waffles ones so much. They're too much fun. If we can get a new Gabe. Let's see if we get one that's not Mario. Oh, yes. Careless Whisper. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Ah, I needed that. All right, another run. So we got all of our duns for Watcher. Now we need to go finish doing Defect. So this one, unlike all the stances you saw me swapping through in the last character, this time you will see orb slots appear above the character, and each of those orbs have a different effect at the end of every turn. So I'm just going to take the max HP on this one, because I think I need the help. Alright, so we can go any of these two to get over to our key elite. Do I want to do multiple elites? I mean, I kind of have to, don't I? Let's go this route. So, the way this particular character works is we got 3 little orb slots over here, and there are cards that increase or decrease that amount. So at the end of every turn, this lightning orb is going to do 3 damage at random to a random or 3 damage to a random enemy. Okay. You can also evoke orbs. So basically, if I were to play this one, it would do the evoke ability, which is down there. It says deal 8 damage to a random enemy. It would do that twice and then get rid of the orb. So you kind of have to manage that as an extra resource. So we can go and zap, get the extra lightning, add the defense so don't take any damage, and then go ahead and start working on this little guy over here, because, I mean, we're going to get this random damage happening all the time with these lightning orbs. The cool thing with the orbs, too, is buffs don't affect them unless it is a certain buff for this character that increases all of the effect of your orbs. But, like, damage debuffs don't affect it. Broken dexterity, like this frail debuff, if I had the frost orbs evoked, they give me shield at the end of it. Those give me that shield no matter what. So there is definitely a point to just running orb builds, which I personally like doing orb builds. I think they're fun. So get these guys out of the way without taking any damage. Cold Snap right there, like, deal 6 damage, channel 1 frost, and that frost at the end of every turn, as long as I have a frost orb, gives me 3 shield. Barrage is fun, deal 4 damage for each channeled orb. Like I said, there are cards that increase the number of orb slots you have, so if you end up with like 6 orbs, that's doing 24 damage for one. It's pretty good. And then Claw is fun if you're doing a Claw build. So 3 damage increases all Claw cards damage by 2 for this combat. So you keep playing Claw over and over and over again, it just keeps getting stronger. It's another fun like little build if you're doing deck cycling. So Doubt, end of your turn, gain 1 week. I'm not opposed to that. I will do it. I will take the gold and gain the week. So our little Bellosaur down here just likes doing damage. And then next turn, I think he debuffs and shields, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Or he buffs and, yeah, debuffs and shields, I think is what that one is, right? Block and use a buff. All right, so Claw. So now every time I use Claw, it's 2 more powerful right now. And I will go ahead and zap and start. I get to play everything, but I get the weak. So now I'm doing 25% less damage. So that's the problem with that curse. But as long as you have cards that do big amount of damage, it's not a huge deal. But see now, Claw is still doing 3. But it keeps getting powered up every time I use it. So now if I cycle back through and see it again, it'll be doing, what is that? 7 damage every time I cast it. And we can just go ahead and knock this guy out and be done with it. 1 whole damage. I'm hurt. Loop is fun at the start of your turn. Trigger the passability of your next orb. So that front orb slot will essentially trigger at the beginning of every turn as well, as long as I've cast this ability. So I'm going to go ahead and take that one because, again, I like doing orb builds. All right. Claw to go ahead and get that guy and his shield taken care of. Defend. I mean, I've just got to play everything as it is, and we're just going to take 2 damage. The other thing is these are direct damage, so they don't count as attacks. So like on these caterpillars right here, that roll-up ability that they have where they get shield when they're hit, the orbs don't trigger that effect. So let's go ahead and loop there. And I guess get defense out. I mean, I'm still going to take some damage over here. I could have been more aggressive, but I'd rather just take small amounts of damage and be able to heal it throughout. There we go. So strike, strike, strike. And the other thing on our orb slots over here, like if these are all full and I evoke or add a new orb to it, it rotates everything forward. So that first one would evoke whatever that evoke ability is, and the other one would take the last slot over here. So you can also sit there and continuously summon orbs to sit there and run through them. And that's what stuff like recursion does. Evokes that first orb and then puts whatever that orb was in the back of the run. Go Go for the eyes if they intend to deal 3 damage. If they intend to attack, apply 1 weak. It doesn't count as a claw card, though. I want more claw cards. Claw builds are fun. All right, so we got a lot of damage coming out at the very beginning, and I don't have a lot of targeted ability. So I just have to really defend and kind of hope for the best here, because I don't want to dual cast, because that gets rid of that orb, which means it's not doing me any good. Yeah, I'm just going to take some damage on this. This one's a really hard early one just because there's so many minions. If you can't manage them fast enough, it's kind of no bueno. So I think the best thing I can do really is get rid of one of them and get a block on the board. Again, we're taking damage, but I wouldn't be able to chew through the 7 shield and his health. Alright, so claw again. We're still doing weak damage. Let's get rid of this guy in the back if we can. And I can defend all the way through the damage this time. What I'd give for a little bit more energy in the very beginning. Alright, so now that claw is doing more and more. Let's get rid of our shield boy over here, because he's becoming a problem. Now we'll be able to chew this guy down without having to deal with that extra shield. Now, and so, whenever I evoke this one, it deals 8. Dual cast is going to do 16 damage since it's only one person. That's a good time to use that card when you know that random lightning is going to one person. Liquid Memories is fun. Go find a card in your discard. It's free. For the next time, I can loop is stacks. Another one is Streamline. Every time you use it, it reduces in cost. So it costs 2 the first time, 1 the second time, free every time afterwards. So if you have a deck that's very small that you can rotate through, Streamline is very good. And then Darkness. Dark, what it does is it continuously gets stronger and stronger until it is evoked, and then it does damage. So it does no damage. It only gets stronger while it's sitting there. It's not until it finally filters out that it's actually worth anything. So I'm going to go ahead and take Loop again because it's kind of fun. We're going to have to go through 2 elites for this key. All right, well, let's give it a shot. Oh, no. All right, so first foremost, Claw. Get the defend out. Get the zap out. I am not evoking. Not with 3 out because I don't know where the 8 damage for each of those evokes are going. Now, the one problem with builds like this, like if you're trying to get your card stacked really, really low, it is very dangerous to against these enemies that are adding these dazed, because now every time those dazed will cycle through, they're just a dead card that goes away when at the end of my turn after it's been in my hand. So it can be a little bit of a problem. So we're gonna get another loop, another defend, another claw, because I need to start getting some damage on these guys. I need to pay money to get that weakness out of there because now it's becoming a problem. So now I've got it's going to be 23 cards over here that are going to cycle through, and like half of them are dazed. So I have the possibility of drawing a whole handful of dazed. Get another set of lightning in there. This round hurts so badly. But again, that's also why I'm summoning so many of these orbs over here. Just because that's going to be consistent damage, especially if I draw a handful of dazed. So I got to defend. I can put the strike. Let's work on this back guy real quick. Yeah, I say, because random chance, there's a good chance I was likely going to hit each enemy once. It would have taken care of it for me. There's no sense in... If it was doing damage, I would have made sure I targeted him directly. Alright, so we get a free defend there. Now I got some claws that are doing some serious damage. So 7 this time, 9 that time. That's where our claws come into play, baby. We get those orbs built, and then we just keep cycling claws. Do straight damage. And then I can just dual cast and get that one done. As I took a lot of damage in that one. Strawberry, luckily, will give me a little bit health back. White Noise. Add a random power in your can. It costs 0 this turn. This is such a fun card. I can't help but take it. Just because the defects cards are so wild. Oh, this is a problem. All right, so white noise, electrodynamic is wonderful. Lightning now hits all enemies, channel 2 lightning, okay? What that just did is at the end of my turn, all of these are going to hit each enemy for 3. So that means 9 damage is coming out for this. It's awesome. What I can do, too, is considering this is likely going to be like... Oh, no, it's a power card, so it doesn't get... Okay. Forgot. Power cards don't cycle, so you can't go get them out of your discard. I need to defend. And so they're going to hit. So 9 is happening to all of them. So I need to at least hit one of them. And I'm just going to take some damage. Can't do much about it, unfortunately. I was lucky that white noise gave me electrodominance. Otherwise, this was going to be a very hard battle. All right, claw, get rid of the damage. Channel 1 lightning, it evokes through, and it would put another lightning orb in the back. Swift potion just gives me 3 extra cards. Echo form is fun, but you have to play it the turn you get it, essentially. But the first card you play each turn is played twice. It's a lot of fun. It's just a really hard to use card. Aggregate, gain energy for every 4 cards in your draw pile. It's great if you're doing large decks. Consume, gain 2 focus. Focus is what powers up those abilities. Lose an orb slot. So it would drop me down to 2 orb slots, but each of those lightning effects would be 2 power stronger. So instead of it being 3 damage each turn, it would be 5 damage each turn. But unfortunately, it costs 2. It's just too early for me to take that card and feel comfortable. So we're going to go for the Key Elite. We're just going to go ahead and straight up rest because we have to. And so... Art of War, if you do not play any attacks during your turn, gain an additional energy. It's not a great ability. I would rather just go ahead and get the key from the chest on that one. All right, so we got our boy here. This one, all we're going to do is essentially power up and not break his shield. Right? So as long as I don't break his shield and do direct damage, he won't wake up. So what I need is like white noise to come through. Oh, well, I'm going to break his shield on this one, aren't I? Whoops. Didn't count for that with the loop. I was sitting there, it's like, oh, I'm going to only do 6. Okay, white noise. Base cognition. Gain 4 focus. At the start of your turn, lose 1 focus. So this essentially becomes a race against time. So as you use it, you get weaker and weaker. So they'll jump to 7 per turn. Next turn will be 6, then 5, then 4. And it'll go all the way down to 0. All right, so now I've got 2 loops, so the first orb will evoke or trigger twice. So this is real good while I still have this increased focus. So, I mean, that's 12 damage at the beginning of every turn, then 11 damage. Well, I guess it's doubled. So claws are still stronger. I need to defend while I can, get the zap out there, and just get what damage I can get done. I say, we're still taking damage, but once we're on the other side of the elite, we'll be better off. So claw. And so evoke deals 10 damage to a random enemy. Let's get him done. 1 strength. Unfortunately, strength does not affect orbs, but it does affect claw. Get the emerald key. Deal 10 damage, put all 0 cards from your discard pile into your hand. Oh my gosh, this is so much fun. So, especially with all those claws. You put all your claws in your discard, you play all for 1, you get all the claws back, you superpower them. And then FTL, if you played less than 3 cards, you draw a card. So it's great for continuing your cycle. I'm going to go ahead and take all for 1. FTL would probably be the better choice. But we're going to do what we're going to do. Okay. So unfortunately, with this one, all for 1 is just a little too early. We still want to get the claw out there. Although, I don't know. We can just all for 1. It does damage. Get the claw back. Increase it by 2 again. And just hit it with a strike. Again, he's debuffing me, so it's not like I had to defend. And then once I get him down to 32 health, he splits. So here's where I do like a bunch of damage. And he's debuffing again. Score, loot. Unfortunately, I don't want to evoke the next orb. I'd rather just do... On the other hand, let's just go ahead and evoke it, because that's going to do 16 damage to him. And so both of those are going to split into 2 smaller 14s or 7s? 14s. I guess I got lucky one time, and it only did half. Machine learning at the start of your turn, draw an additional card. Always good. There's also another one, is you get stronger based on how many powers you have active with this character. really fun. Let's go ahead and just knock him out because we're just getting a debuff from that guy, so we don't have to worry about defending. Alright, so then claw there. And just strike, be done. Focus potion, gain 2 focus is always nice. I can get rid of Blessing of the Forge because upgraded cards is not a huge deal. Chaos, Sunder. I mean, it's a free execute, but I can take more 0-cost cards. Especially with... okay, so right here, go for the eyes. Bam, weakens him and deals damage. It's great. We're gonna claw. I need to do as much damage as possible especially since I have no defense. We'll draw 3 cards on this one. White noise. Echo form is great. I don't want to play that for that. I'm taking damage no matter what, so we're just gonna have to end turn. That stinks. This has not been the luckiest round, but that's one of the things with deck builders too, is sometimes you just get a bad round. Okay, so now that loop was played twice. I could have played the defense. Well, I'm going to have to play both those blocks. But now my first orb over here goes off 3 times at the beginning of every round. So that's 9 damage at the beginning of each round. Claw. Okay, now I get all for 1, but all of my 0 cards come back. Apply 1 weak, because I'm going to just do what I can here. And then defend. Oh, man, they did a number on me. Slimed. But now I'm down to 1 guy, so this is it. This is done. Alright. Now I just have to be able to survive. I don't need another loop. That's just going to bog down my deck. Hologram. I'm just going to skip that. Because while loop is fun, it's only the first orb. If it was all orbs, big difference. Alright, anybody has... So you're the most. Let's just go ahead and get your shield out of the way. Defend, defend. And you're going to strengthen up, so I want to knock you out too. Now, I've got my block potion if things get bad on this one, but these silly worms can be a little, for lack of a better word, silly. There we go. It's sometimes playing with the entirety of your deck, not just the cards in your hand. You just go for the eyes and strike, be done. Essence of Steel, gain 4 plated armor, so the plated armor is continuously comes back until you get hit and it drops it down. I don't know, I mean, the 12 block is a lot better, because plated armor I have a problem with is because it's only 4, right? It's not a huge amount of block, and if you're needing block, you typically need the larger amount. Stack, rip and tear, or boot sequence. I'll take boot sequence because, I mean, it starts in your hand. If you get stuck with a really bad round like that 5 blob orb, it gives you a free 10 block, but you only get it for your first turn. It's not a bad one. Do I want to upgrade a card or remove a card? Let's do the upgrade. Ah, there we go. Let's do white noise. Now I have to rest here again. And we're walking into my least favorite Chapter 1 boss. Having to deal with the thorns and his big damage is just not my favorite. So boot sequence isn't going to do me any good for this fight. Just get the claw out now. Now this ability right here is after you deal that much damage, he shifts into defensive mode. which typically gives you a free end of that round, but then he'll end up getting thorns while he's in defensive mode for 2 to 3 rounds, I think it is. So you kind of have to plan for that. Oh, okay, so it's not ethereal. Boot sequence is fine then. I thought that was ethereal. I was expecting it to go away. It's still good no matter what. All right. Ugh, see what I mean? Big damage, defense, defense, claw, for all the good it did, but at least it's powering up my claw, and then zap, because we want that additional damage coming. And let's go ahead and drink that blue potion, because it'll save us for the damage he's going to do, because he does a big bash, right? And then he has a debuff that comes at you, but we're going to knock him down on this one, because I can loop again, we'll strike, and strike. So now he shifts into defense, right? I can just pitch that out just to be done with it. But now he's going to get thorns. So here's where I want to go into defensive mode and let my orbs do the work for me. Now he's also going to pitch off a lot of damage to me too. So white noise, let's hope for a good one. Loop, I'll take it. Defense. Hitting him with claw. I mean, he'll take damage, but I will take more damage. What do I have in here? Is it just defend? That really hurts doing that. But I kind of want to do it anyway. Because I need it. But I'll still take 2 damage because I want to keep powering up that claw. Because he'll have this one. And the next one, it should be like a, what, 3 times? Oh, it's just 8? Okay. Defend, defend. And I don't want to dual cast anything. We're just going to let that go. Because thankfully, orbs don't trigger thorns. Twin slam. And then he comes out with the whirlwind, right? So the 5 times 4. Cool. So, go for the eyes. That's going to weaken him. Boot sequence is going to give me most, if not all. And I can defend, zap, and strike. Okay. So now I got 9 damage coming at him each round. Plus the 3 loops, so 9 damage at the beginning of each round. It's really just a defense game. And a war of attrition on this one. So, claw on that one. Strikes aren't going to be able to... Well, I can knock it down because then 9 damage plus 14. And at least put another round of damage into him. Again, I don't want to evoke the orb because I want all of those orbs running all of the time. And I don't need to cast the defend. Alright. So we can zap, because that's going to evoke a lightning, but I get another one back. 2 defends over here. Kind of protect against that. Weaken from our curse. Now we got 16 damage coming at us again. Defend, but I'm going to go ahead and do the go for the eyes, because it's going to drop that damage down. Trying to think if that damage is worth it. Because, I mean, I'm taking it no matter what. And if it's a chance that the claws get strong enough to kill him down the line, I'm going to go ahead and risk it. I just can't take any more. Alright, so I've got to be able to defend 12. Oh, and the weak wear off. So that's not it. That's game. Oh, if I'd have done dual cast, that'd have been enough damage. But that's going to leave him 5 short, and that's game. Yeah. That was just a real rough start to that one, so we'll give that another shot. And we'll run through it a little faster. I say, now that we've seen the character. Well, yes, I would love another try. Now, oh, okay, so we do get all 4 options still. Ah! Hello, kitty. Let's see what kind of card we can get. Go for the eyes is really good. Sweeping beam, 6 to all damage is really good for the multi ones. Rebound is fun because then you get to cycle cards. I think I'll do Sweeping Beam on this one. Alright, where's our guy at? He's over on that side, and I get to him from either run. So we're going to start here. I played that wrong. It went either way. You're losing 5 life. And it's just one of those starts where it's like, we're going to bully you today. It's like, I don't want you to bully me. Excuse me. Come on, just do the debuffs, man. What's with all the aggression today? Just dual cast and get that done. Again, I like claw builds. I forgot to go look at the boss. I want to upgrade a card. Dual cast is free. Zap is free. Go ahead and upgrade Sweeping Beam. That early can take care of a lot of like multi-enemy attacks. What boss am I fighting? Same guy again? I really don't. I'm not going to bother with that relic. It's just not worth it to me. I'll take the golden idol. We can lose 6 max. It's not a big deal. Leaves us at 69 health. Sweeping beam to take care of that. Toss the defense. A strike to make him lose 1 more. Strike knocks him out. Zap. Claw. There we go. Perfect. Add a card. Rebound. Channel 1 cross. Draw 1 card. Reinforced body. I don't hate this card. It's not normally enough. It's 7 block per energy. But it's good when you need just 1 big defense. I'll take it just to see what happens. Since we're doing our Thorn guy at the end of this, I don't know if I want to do... What relic did we get? Okay, Elite have 25% less HP, which is real nice. Okay. So Zap. Claw for free. Reinforced body to protect myself. Let the orbs do the work. So either way, I'm still losing 2 health. Unfortunate. Okay, we can claw to do most of the damage there. And just evoke the orb, be done with it. Quit trying to strike it out. Use those orbs when you can. Channel 1 plasma. Plasma is fun because it gives you 1 energy at the beginning of every turn. Ball lightning is also fun because it's better than zap. And I would rather be able to evoke more lightning. Okay, defend, claw, ball lightning, strike. Get damage out there. Yeah, we're going to take 2, but that's okay. I've only got to get through 28 health. Zap, reinforced body. Alright, so that reinforced body has already come in handy twice now. Sweeping beam. We're still weak. No, so 6. Strength potion. I can't not love go for the eyes. What's our war paint? 2 random skills. I don't even have skills, do I? Oh yeah, I do. Just 2 random skills. Yeah, take the key. All right, to the shop. We've got 200 gold. We've got possibly. Oh, I'd love to have toxic egg. It's always nice. Frozen eye. I don't really care about draw order. Enter shop. Heal 15 HP. That's a very good one to have. And then defragment I love having just because it makes all my orbs stronger. More gold. Do we have another shop coming up? No. That's not even bother. Alright, let's see what our elite looks like. Oh, skill boy. Okay. Alright, so if I do want to use skills, I need to use them this turn. Claw, strike. Yeah. Well, that's nice, having that 25% health off. Woo! Makes a big difference. Defragment off the top. I don't have any defense, so we're just running with what we got. Oh, great, I gotta read. Fine, ball lightning. We're just taking damage. It's rare that you get to ever get through Knob without taking a good portion of damage. It's just kind of the way it is. And that should take care of him. Do we get the Gremlin Horn, though? Nunchaku, I will take. Oh, Meteor Strike. So if you can have 5 energy, this is such a fun card. It's just such a hard card to get going. Lock-on's not bad if I'm doing orb build. And delayed energy is always fun. I'll try Bullseye. I haven't gotten to do it yet. Alright, zap, Bullseye, strike. So now it's really only 50%. And of course it rounds down, so I mean, but it's still adding 2 extra damage per turn, right? You split it what? 34? So you're splitting no matter what at this point. Reinforced body, nothing that matters. That's strength, right? Strength's only good for claw build. Defragment, get the claw out, get the strag. I'd rather just have the general damage out there. I mean, you guys apply frail, so it's better to just kind of DPS race them. Oh, good. I love it. Okay. Claw, go for the eyes, ball lightning, sweeping beam. Sure, we'll toss the defense out. Fairy in a bottle. When you die, come back with 30 HP. Love it. Blizzard, I have not gotten to work. So, you have to consistently channel Frost over and over and over again for this to work. And it hasn't been able to be something worth me getting. That's a lot of damage coming in all of a sudden. So we've got to toss both defends. And we'll get that one. You remember what I said about just getting bad luck on some of these bosses, or some of these enemy runs? That's wild, man. Defragment. Claw. I'd hate to dual cast, because I'd rather it just be doing damage. This one's going to be a problem. Oh, good, he's buffing again. That's fine. Alright, so... I'd rather just be safe. And that should kill, because that's 8 damage. Again, got to take white noise. It's a mandatory for me. We're resting again, because we're going into this boss battle super, super weak. But at least we have a fairy. So it should make at least a little bit of a difference. So claw to start, white noise, heat sinks. Whenever you play a power card, draw a card. Kind of SOL on that one. The only one I really have is defragment now. Go for the eyes is wonderful. Lightning. We're going to do 9 damage, so that's 15. It's going to work out. We'll get the defense in there. So that'll transfer him. Alright, come on. Now I need defragment. There we go. Do that. Draw a card. Alright, so what I can do is defend, bullseye, and take the thorns, and then reinforce. Was my exit 0? What? Should have been exit 1. Because I'd go for the eyes, ball lightning. I don't know, I guess I put bullseye on there too and didn't count it right. That was silly of me. Yep. Defend. We're going to toss the ball lightning because it's just a big evoke. I don't really have any defense. And I don't want to waste it hitting with the thorns, so we're going to be using that fairy in the bottle, I'm sure. Which is a shame, but part of it. And defend. I think I'm going to go ahead and just drink my strength potion. I should have done it earlier, but... Alright, so I just need to do a rather large amount of damage. Bullseye. Zap will evoke another one. Go for the eyes doesn't do any good. Okay, that time it worked. So yeah, I must have had 0. Here's hoping I'd redraw reinforced body again. Not this turn though. So defend. Zap. Gah! You funny. Whew. You love messing with me whenever whenever slides it. Did you get your free drop? I didn't even check Dixper to see if you grabbed your free drop today. That link should be pinned. If it's not, I can repin it real quick. Okay, good. Sometimes it tells me, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so 16 is coming anyway. That's still going to do 11, so I might as well just lean into this. Because no matter what, I'm using that fairy in a bottle. Whew. Power potion. Adds 1 of 3 random power cards to my hand. It's not a bad deal. Machine learning is not a bad deal. Rainbow I really like. Just because it gets a whole bunch of orbs in your face real quick. Key is what I normally take. And I still have to go... No, I've got my chest one. Because, see, you know, being blind is awful to me because I don't know exactly how much I need to defend. Now, if you have a build that's capable of, like, self-sustaining, then that's not so problem. But in some of these later difficulties, it's just a big problem. Alright, so we got Hyper Beam Dude again. We got a bunch of money. We can go for money. Why don't we do that? I say a bunch of money, we end up hitting the thieves. Every time. White noise. Echo form. That's awesome. Defrag. Zap. Defend. Still taking a lot of damage. Having 2 curse cards is really rough too. Alright. Go for the eyes, because I'd rather focus on one and get him down. Bullseye. Rainbow. And then I can toss the defend to protect myself a little bit. So yeah, now we get the frost over here. And dark. So what that means is whenever I evoke frost, I gain more block. If I evoke dark, it does whatever this bottom number is. And the top number is how much damage it gains each turn. Alright, so sweeping beam, see what I get. Oh, that's right. First turn is card is played twice. Ball lightning. And I've got 2 more. I can just knock him out. All my gold back. Okay, recursion for free is not bad. I'll take that. remove all strikes, receive 5 bites, lose 21 max HP. I mean, I'm okay with this. Because you're now you're vampire mode. Yes, less max health. But now we're in vampire mode. Okay. First time prevent HP loss. If your HP is at or below 50%, heal 12, which isn't bad because that's like a third of our HP. Whenever you break an enemy block, apply to vulnerable. Oh, I don't even have the money for those two anyway. I'm gonna definitely do a card removal. Let's get rid of regret. That's mandatory. And it's only from attacks, so vulnerable does not work on my orbs. So right now it's not really a great card. What is my deck looking like? I don't have, I've only got the 1 power. It's just the white noise that I get. Bomb's kind of fun. We'll get loop and we'll call it good. I've got another shop coming up I can get to. Let's go the outside route. Yeah, let's take the outside route. All right. Hooded. Oh, ritual dagger. I mean, honestly, I get to heal that back with my basic strikes, so yeah, ritual dagger's great. Alright, first off, go for the eyes. Let's get that weakened, because especially since I don't have any block. Zap. You're exhaust, right? Bite. I don't want to dual cast for this one, although I do need to do damage with him. And it's attack damage. I don't know if orbs trigger that. I'm not going to worry about powering it up. I'd rather just get that plated armor down and get more damage to him. Defragment. Bullseye. Ball lightning. Get another orb up there. And get a defend. Because I'd lose more doing the bite than I would gain. Alright, recursion, because that's just a big hit. Loop. Bite to get that shield down one more. Reinforced body for 2. Now we got some damage going. See, here's where we want to focus through all of our bites. That way we can try and regen as much health as possible. Bite again. Sweeping beam. It's going to take him out. No sense in getting fancy. Just get the job done. Beam cell plus is 0, so there's no reason not to take it. I'm not going to bother resting. Let's go ahead and get our key, because we're at a good place right here. We do have a little bit of a gauntlet of enemies coming up, which does stink, and these second level enemies are just... this one is one of my least favorites. So, every time you hit him, he gains 3 shield, and it gets bigger each time, and it resets. It's really annoying. Defend, bite. And I'll just reinforce body for that last one. It'll defend, but it's okay. Okay, now that'll go back down to 3. It just means you have to hit him like with successively bigger hits. White noise, let's see what I get. Hello World is fun. We'll try it. You get a free common card in any of the gray banners here. Loop. Bullseye. He's not attacking me, so we'll just go ahead and bite, get some health back. Like barrage, just like... we can do that right there. We can oh, why did I not have beam cell? Defend to give me some mitigation. That's 6 damage, but I'd rather have 5 plus 2 health. We're still going to take a lot of damage from this boy, but I say hopefully we can get some good health regen over time. Bite off the top, and zap to get another one. Claw to make that stronger. hey, that works. That kills and it gets stronger. Fear potion, apply 3 vulnerable. Wow, doom and gloom, 10 damage to all enemies, channel a dark. Oh, fusion plus, that one's worth it. So that one, now I just spend 1 energy to get 1 additional energy forever. Well, as long as that orb is there. Capacitor, that's what I want to see there. And I know he's doing damage, but this guy gets stronger every turn, so I want to try and knock him out as early as possible. It's a gamble. I'll try it. There we go. And then Ritual Dagger. Score. So now Ritual Dagger is 3 more stronger. Now that Hex just adds one of those dazed every time I use a skill, so I need my rectangles. Beam Cell is getting vulnerable. And I don't need to defend against him, so no bother. I'd like to pull Electro Dominance in one of my abilities before too long. Go for the eyes. Rainbow. I can recursion here, and I get the plasma back, so that's beautiful. That way I get to cast Loop, and then I get to reinforce body for 4. So he's not doing damage to me. So wait, now that I have plasma, I can, if I see Meteor, I could get Meteor. And it would be okay. Sweeping Beam. See what we draw. Defrag. Ball Lightning. Fight. Defend. We're still taking damage, though. I wish I could have been able to afford the meat. I'm just not drawing the... Oh, see. And that's... Well, nope, because... That's game. Well, that stinks. Well, it's getting near 5 o'clock, so it's about time for us to get out of here. Let me go see if I can find us a good raid target for today. Hello. There you are. Let me run over to our... Oh, let me get the other Twitch page. Apologize for any double hearing you might have. Good, this one's muted. Let's go to Creator Dashboard. See if we have any good friendos coming online. Let's see what we got here. Raid. Who do we have? We got sort by 4U. Let's see if old Blair's online yet. Boy, 9 minutes. Okay, so. Oh, wait, what? Oh, perfect. Blair just went live. So we're going to go drop in on Blair Bears. If you have... Blair Bears is one of my favorite other Extra Life streamers. She works for... Or she's fundraising for Wisconsin. But she is super wholesome, super fun, and a big friendo. So we... let's see... There she is. All right, we're gonna go raid right there. Again, as always, thank you everybody for coming in. I very much appreciate it. I will be back Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Central, and we will be back doing some Tetris. So again, thank you everybody for being there. I will catch all of you on Tuesday. Please make sure to hang around for the raid. Enjoy, and I will catch you all then.